May 7th, 2025. We are coming to you live this morning. How's everybody doing?
Good.
Oh, man. Good morning. Carmen?
Yes.
Galvin?
Present.
Pap?
I'm here, Michael.
Gio? Oh, man.
I'm done. I'm done getting the coffee.
He's going to be so mad. Let me see if he did, in fact, get the coffee.
Oh,
Yes. Yes, he did.
By the way, Pap here and drove himself.
Oh, I know.
The part only took 4 years.
Worth the wait, Joe?
absolutely worth the wait. Yeah,
You're all up and running?
up and running,
Oh,
back
man.
in business.
For now.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Don't do whatever you did. What were you doing? Feathering the clutch too much?
Yeah, I was double clutching.
Yeah.
That's
Is it
problem.
a manual?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's an automatic.
I need to find somebody with a manual so that I could teach Joey how to drive a manual.
Oh, yeah?
I
Yeah.
can drive a stick.
Yeah, I can drive a stick too. I just Joey can't. He probably can. He just has not done it, and I want to teach him how to do it. But I was like, where are you going to find one? Thank you, Gio. Where are you going to find one to practice on? Like, who has one? I mean, Pete probably has one, but
Right, yeah.
it's a Ferrari.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, try practice on this $4 million car.
Right, yeah, I don't think that's a good idea. Now, I don't know what's more frustrating, teaching a kid how to drive or like doing their homework with them.
Homework.
It's I don't know, dude. When you're in a car and you're doing this for
Yeah.
jerking back and forth for an hour, making me nauseous.
My first car was manual, and I had never driven manual before, but was pretty easy to figure out because I rode motorcycles and did all
Right.
that stuff. So I bought the car from the guy with cash, a check, and rolls of quarters, and then got in the car and went, and then, oh, okay, I got it, and took off.
My first car was manual, and
Yeah.
it was always embarrassing when you would stall out at a stoplight because you wouldn't hit
Yeah.
gear.
Because you kept in gear.
Or you just wouldn't catch, and the whole car would shake.
Yeah.
And like you're 16, so you're like, oh my god.
That's a novice thing.
Yeah, you're at I'm like on US 19, and like the whole car stalls.
Yeah. My mother had a Nissan Pulsar. It was the car looked like a giant dustbuster. It was triangular and pointing in the front, and it was a manual. And I learned how to drive on that by trial by fire. My mother worked so much, and I had to work in a movie theater, and she had to drive me, and it was like on the other side of the island. And she was so tired one day, she was like, "Just take my keys and go." And I went, "I'm 15," and she's like, "Can you drive it?" And I go, "Yeah." I couldn't drive it, and she's like, "Just go. I'm gonna have to take a nap." I was like, "All right, great." So then I went and made a mixtape, like you should when you're going to drive in the
Sure,
car
yeah.
alone for yourself. And I put it in and blasted it the whole way, probably slippery when wet, and drove by myself, stalled a bunch of times. But by the time I got there, I was like, all right, I got this.
It was
Figure
fun when you figure out how to push start the car. And me and my friends would try and push start my car. all
I
the
never
time.
had to do that.
Yeah, like the battery would go dead and we push started,
Yeah,
which was
yeah.
at the time it was fun.
Yeah.
I gotta be honest. There's nothing about being poor that I miss
Yeah.
at all.
Well, must be nice.
No, I mean about being poor. You know what I
I'm
mean?
kidding.
Like, yeah.
I'm kidding.
It was I was thinking about, like, I think back now between my life and my kids' life, and I think, oh, I'm so glad that they never were poor. I mean, we were poor. We were government cheese poor.
Yeah.
And I'm just so glad that they don't know that life at all, that they grew up. They have no idea when we have financial problems. They have no idea when we have, they just don't know about anything. And that's the way it should be for kids.
Yeah, my stepdad was allegedly a large drug dealer, so I think that's why
For real or no?
always, yeah.
Oh, really?
That's why we always had money.
I mean, so he wasn't half bad.
No. Allegedly, I heard that was the case.
It's so weird that your mom seems like the most normal person
Yeah,
to be in that weird situation.
I think she was just a single widowed mother who was very naive at the time
Yeah.
and didn't know any better, and by a master manipulator.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
what he was known to do because he's done it to a lot of people.
I'm telling you, as your friend and a guy who's known you and worked with you for a long time, if you want me to kill that guy, I will.
All right.
Just saying.
I'll
I mean,
keep
let's
that
wait until he
handy.
talked about it on the air for a while and then come to me on the side and
Yeah,
say,
yeah,
I
of
don't want to make
course.
it too obvious.
No, we'll wait.
Yesterday on the show, I was exploring the fantasy of my wife dying in a plane crash because she's getting ready to go to New York next week.
Right.
Yeah.
And I forgot the most important fact. Now I hope it doesn't happen because she had my daughter with her.
I read up on the Newark stuff. That's pretty scary.
She's canceling her trip.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My wife has real bad anxiety about flying as it is. If I'm there, it's not so bad for her, which is weird because I used to be the one that was all nervous about flying. Now I don't care. She has bad anxiety as it is. She's going up there because a friend of hers is going through a medical procedure and she wanted to go be with her friend. Like she had good reason to go.
BBL.
What's that? Yeah,
BBL.
Brazilian butt lift. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was also Memorial Weekend, that long, busy weekend. And the amount of warnings about Newark Airport and their air traffic controllers made her so nervous. And I'm like, Amanda, they're not going to, this is all part of the politics. This is where they say, oh, they cut the funding and now we can't, now we're afraid planes are going to crash and cause, airlines to lose money. And that's just all part of the politics. Then she got an email from the airline that said, listen, we don't think it's safe. If you want to cancel your flight, you can cancel your flight. And she's like, I'm canceling my flight.
Man.
I'm like, oh my God, when the airline's telling you, don't go. Oh my God. So I think she's going to cancel her trip now. So there goes that fantasy.
Darn it.
I wouldn't call it a fantasy.
It's exactly what it is. I don't really want it to happen or else I'd push her off a cliff. But if it happened and all of a sudden I became single and rich, that's a fantasy, Carmen.
Why can't you just be married and rich?
Because I can't go out and bang a bunch of other chicks.
I mean, you can.
I mean, not as comfortably as I could if I was single. And also the amount of attention that I'm going to get for a while, and I'll be on all the TV stations. It'll probably help the ratings out. Women will be breaking me souffles and coming over in the middle of the weekend.
It is win-win.
It's a win-win, right?
Yeah.
Right? And then all of a sudden I could sleep as much as I want. I could have parties when I want to.
Listen, I don't think so. I hear horror stories of everyone in the dating world right now.
Yeah.
And it does not sound like the place to be.
Look at Pete. Pete face.
Most people are giving up.
I'm getting sympathy from a bunch of women. You know how Soph would probably move in. Soph would probably, Mike Olivero would just have to give up Soph for me because
I
she'd
don't-
have to. Yeah.
Again, fantasy. I don't think that's happening.
Now you're just taking people's significant
Yeah.
I'm
others.
saying Soph has a heart of gold. She'd be like, I'm probably gonna have to take care of him.
Yeah.
See-
So I got Soph coming in as my Mrs. Garrett.
I was going to say your best bet of someone moving in would be JoJo.
No, because then she's gonna bring that kid with her.
Right.
Not,
But
I love that kid, but I don't need that kid
No,
C blocking me at
you're-
all. Corn.
You're in mourning.
Yeah.
Plus, when all the other ladies show up with the lasagnas and stuff,
Right.
that kid's going to be
Yeah.
asking questions. You're like, shut up.
Then the
Yeah.
kid takes all the attention away. Oh,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no kids.
At least you have the kid to make you happy. No. The kid's not making me happy. The kid's not making me happy.
What about your kids?
Oh well, Juliana was with
Oh, that's right.
but
That's sad.
interestingly enough, she survived.
Oh,
Yeah. She fell out of the
where
plane.
is she when the?
She landed comfortably in the water and they plucked her out. Only survivor.
Where is she at the gangbang party at your house?
She that's a good question, too.
Yeah,
On
She
her
lives-
iPad.
She lives in Jersey now.
maybe
She's
she.
afraid to fly back.
Maybe she moves in with JoJo.
Yeah. That'd be
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yeah, that's good.
She needs
She likes the kid.
a motherly
Yeah,
person.
figure.
Right.
By the way, speaking of surviving plane crashes and stuff, have you seen the previews for the new Final Destination?
No.
It's a pretty good idea. So that movie makes everybody just so anxious. It's ridiculous because you see what's going to happen. You're
Right.
like, oh God. But they have like a backyard party and like a bartender breaks a glass and then it goes in the ice and he scoops up the ice and you see the guy go to drink and there's a big shard of glass and then there's somebody jumping on a trampoline. There's a rake underneath the trampoline, all this different stuff. But what it is it's Final Destination Bloodlines. And so it's people who survive something. Death is coming for their family members now.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's like my grandmother survived a plane crash and stuff, and now death is coming for me. But it looks,
That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, they do a good job with that, especially some of the ways they come up with killing people. You're like, good lord.
I think the roller coaster one was the last one that I watched.
Yeah,
where the
I don't even know. I know
Yeah.
I've seen some of them, but I don't know. This could be 17 for all I know.
yeah, the roller coaster flew off the tracks.
Oh, yeah. I remember seeing that on preview. Oh, Joe,
Yes, Mike.
very proud of you that you got your car all fixed up.
Well, thank you. I didn't do anything. It was Dan. But
Well, I mean, you did follow through. None of us believed that you would happen. I'm going to be honest with you. We all thought you'd
Took a
be.
little while.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
It's all right. It was a complex problem, but it was solved. I had confidence in Dan.
I had confidence in Dan too.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever Dan is.
He's the mechanic.
Yeah. Why need you to go to Dan?
Well, I've lived next door to Dan
Oh,
for 25,
that's why. Okay, yeah,
25 years.
Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
he's been my mechanic forever.
Yeah, interesting. I would expect your neighbors to not like you, and they all like you.
Yeah, they do. They like me.
I know.
It's weird that you've had a mechanic forever, but didn't drive for over a decade.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. You know, priorities.
Yeah.
Does he have a shop, or does he just do the stuff out of his garage?
no, he has a shop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was convenient because he was driving with Spanish. They were leaving from the same place. I mean, even Pete and I, we'd drive together if we were leaving from the same place. You know, so why change that? What's going on this weekend? Anything good? It's Mother's Day.
Oh.
What do you get your wife something for Mother's Day?
No.
You do, right?
Yeah.
I gotta go do something. I mean, I can go get her like the typical flowers and stuff, but she doesn't like that.
I feel like my kids are old enough now; they need to figure that out.
Yeah,
Oh,
but
yeah. Kids
I
absolutely
gave
have
them
to
the I said, listen, I'll give you the money, but go get your own presents.
I've got my own mother. I got to get stuff for.
Well,
Yeah, well, I don't. I got a stepmother and a mother-in-law. Both easy. That's easy. But my wife is like, my wife makes it so hard because she gets me really good stuff for holidays and stuff. So now I gotta I can't just half-ass that for her. I'm thinking about. I wish she was more of a jewelry person, because then I would just go to the Golden Diamond Source and just walk in there and just go, "What's hot right now? What's the thing?"
get her the same bracelet.
Yeah, that's the thing.
4 years in a row.
That's the thing. I can't buy the exact same thing I got her last time, which I've done before.
Yeah, I have no idea. My wife's very tough to get gifts for.
Carmen, what are the sweatsuits that everybody's wearing now? Arlo, Alo?
Oh, I have no idea. I do all the knockoffs, so I'm not the person to ask.
Man, I don't know. I see her wearing these sweatsuits, and I don't know what they're called or where to get them.
Carmen wears Larry Lime instead of Lululemon.
No. I can tell you, I don't know the name of it. I'll have to look it up. But a listener sent it to me because he was like, I feel bad. Mike always makes fun of you for not wearing Lululemon, but he doesn't buy you any. And he was like, I actually like this brand better than Lululemon. And it's out of like Switzerland.
This a guy?
Yeah.
This is a guy, but it's out of Switzerland.
If you
and
can wear one and send it back to me and keep the other one.
Yeah.
No, not at all. He was just like, I appreciate the show. I love listening. He sent me my gosh, I can't even think about it. But he sent me a sweatshirt before.
Mm-hmm.
And stuff, and he's in the Army. My Citadel sweatshirt that I wear all the time. And he's like, I love the fact that you wear it. Da, da, da. And so he was like, I just feel bad that Mike makes fun of you. So I just wanted to get you a little comfy set. And
You know that guy's a creep, right?
Yeah, he's
No.
creeping.
Of course
he's
he is.
creeping.
Why isn't anybody else getting gifts?
because you guys are jerks.
Yeah,
I
well,
don't
we're
know.
jerks to each other.
He gave me Citadel stuff too.
Yeah.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, he just doesn't
I
like me.
sent him like
Yes.
3 or 4
How are
sets
your
of pictures of my
spandex
feet.
pants?
They're nice.
They fit nice.
Yeah,
All right.
very tight.
What did you send him?
Pictures of my feet.
Oh, no. No.
That's a fair trade, I think.
I think
Carmen,
But whatever this
guys who send you gifts are
Yeah.
guys who, even if they haven't admitted it to themselves, or guys who still think that they can bang you if they send you stuff.
Yeah.
I think people just feel bad because you guys are
We
real.
don't feel bad.
Because you guys are mean to me.
It's part of your job.
It's the same guys that comment on your picture where you're like, those guys are crazy. You're beautiful. And
Yeah.
then, like you're going to go, oh my God, I finally found my knight in shining armor.
Or some guys are just actually nice.
Nope.
And sometimes they want to do something for
We
people.
are guys. We know what guys do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because he sent it to me for Christmas. It wasn't just like off the cuff, like, oh, here's just a random sweatsuit. He's like, Mike's makes fun of you.
P.S.
And
If
it's
you want to take a
Christmas.
picture and send it back to me
Yeah.
while you're wearing it, that'd be pretty cool.
Not at all. He just said he liked this brand better than Lululemon. And I have to agree with him. It is.
Yeah, tell
one
him
of-
also he's a man. He should not be wearing Lululemon.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wear
Lululemon has men's stuff.
Yeah, but
They have a whole men's section.
Yeah.
You need to make up your mind.
About what?
either about what, like, oh, Lululemon's the best, but men can't.
No.
wear it.
I don't. I have not.
It's for ladies.
It's for ladies.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It's for ladies and guys like Titus O'Neil. That's it.
I have Lululemon that you guys got me.
Right, but that was a sweatshirt. That was like a hoodie. Yeah. I mean, and you're like a running guy. It's fit. It's athletic wear. You're
Not
wearing
like
it. For,
you,
you're wearing
Brian.
it for the right reasons. You're not just strutting around the mall in your Lululemon.
You did ask for pictures of me in it.
Yeah,
That
and
was
your
weird.
feet.
Yeah.
And your feet.
These guys are jerks. Let me dress you.
Exactly. I don't know why they treat you that way.
Yeah.
If you were my girl, I'd cover you
Is your
in spandex.
is your second toe longer than your first one? Because they
Yeah.
say that means you're smart. Yeah.
I think you're perfect.
Right. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Forget those guys.
Who are
That-
they to talk?
Yeah.
You guys are jerks.
Carmen, look, if I were you, I'd take full advantage of it. I'd get a website going, a wish list, and the whole deal.
Yeah. I wish I got more free stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, try being nicer.
I
No
don't
one
know.
likes you, jerks.
Show your feet more.
I don't know if there is anything better than I used to date the stripper, and a guy would take her shopping all the time, and she would buy stuff for me. That was the best
That's
thing
good.
in the world.
That's
Like,
not gross. That's so gross to me.
what do you mean?
Not for you, but it's just so like I don't know. That's
Buying strippers stuff.
but no. But if you're a stripper and if you're a guy, you're buying stuff for a stripper's boyfriend.
Well, he didn't know.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Oh, he did?
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
he
whether-
knew he was buying men's stuff.
Yeah.
He knew he was buying Slayer T-shirts.
Yeah, but if you get him an extra lap dance at the club, it's worth it.
Yeah.
You
No,
know?
Carmen had a guy that used to do that for her, and we ruined that.
Yeah.
Remember Carmen, the Indian guy?
Yeah, because he would just he would come to the club, so I didn't even have to really go out with him or do much. But then you guys just talk too much about it.
But he did want to take you out shopping, and we didn't feel it was safe, and we tried to call him on the air, and he got mad.
Right. And but he would always bring dinner to me or have dinner at the club with me and take me off the floor.
Slowly getting you addicted to heroin.
Wasn't there the old man that would buy you the bikinis?
Yep.
That was me.
That was Mike. Yeah.
That was Mike. And he made me try him on for him
Yeah.
while he was in the dressing
That
room.
is so true.
Yeah.
Do you remember Tony got really nervous about that?
Yeah.
Because I said, Carmen, if you try them on in front of me, I'll buy you a bikini. It's like, okay. And we were like, all right, we're going to the mall today. And obviously I wasn't going to do that. And we went to the mall, we went shopping, and we bought a bikini. And Tony was like, I mean, it's a joke now, but it can come out. I'm like, I didn't go in the
jeez.
dressing room with her. Come on. be
Lighten up.
serious. I mean, I would have if she would have invited me in, but
Of
she
course.
did not. God. All right.
See you guys later.
Good. Good show.
Well, if you want to send me free stuff, I'll accept
What
it.
are you looking for?
I don't know.
What do you got?
Yeah. I mean, you have to have an idea.
I work in the reverse. I'm starting to give stuff away from inside my garage.
Yes.
Yes. I'm going to give out my autographed Rosie O'Donnell book first, and then a couple other things. I'm just going to start getting rid of stuff.
There's a lot of stuff.
There's too much stuff.
Yeah.
It wouldn't be so nice if it was just less cluttered and everything was gone. I'm going to have that weekend where we just get rid of everything.
I've taken 3 TVs over the last month.
3. You're only supposed to take 2.
Oh, sorry.
I thought
How
you already
they-
did the purge.
Are they all good?
Yeah.
Carmen, we have purged. There's more to purge. I purged and got rid of a lot of stuff. Now the other day I was thinking I have a hard time throwing out books. Okay. I have a lot of books. Most of them were never read because I would get them for free. They would send them to me at the radio station as a promotional book or whatever. And I found Amy Schumer's book inside the other day. I will never read that. I will never pick up Amy. Let me see what Amy Schumer was like as a teen. Never. I will not. But I have a hard time throwing it
Yeah,
out.
it does seem weird just throwing a book, a brand new
Well,
book
don't throw
away.
it away.
No,
Take
so
it to your library.
I will donate. I will
Yeah.
donate the books for sure. I will give them to a used bookstore or whatever they want to do. But I also feel like those are the kind of thing. And then one day I was like, why? Why am I hanging on? I will never, ever, ever, ever go and look at that book.
Because even is it signed?
No, even if it is, I don't care.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Unless it's someone.
If it's signed, I'll give it away on the air.
Right. But
No.
unless it's signed by someone, from Pearl Jam or something,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
not that
think
crazy.
it
I-
doesn't. But I'm just saying, you wouldn't give that book away.
No, I can't just give away the boxes of books. I have a lot of books that I do want to keep too. And I do have some sentimental books, like Chris Jericho gave me his book. I want to keep that one. You know what I mean? There are certain books that I would keep.
But we had talked about we just need to start tacking on stuff so you get the tickets to Baby Metal and this
Right,
book
something
that
from
we're
my
not
house.
sure who it's autographed by.
Maybe.
So they have to throw it away. Now you guys
Yeah.
now you're just giving them an extra thing.
That's true.
Here's more Mike's junk.
Junk.
Yeah.
Yeah. You've got 10 copies of The Godfather on Blu-ray.
Don't touch those.
They're
I don't have a Blu-ray player.
They're still in the plastic.
I don't have a Blu-ray player because that's the one where they do the chronological order where
Yeah.
they start
Oh, that's a good
2 before 1 and then they run through the whole thing. Yeah, I can.
But you
looks
don't need them. You don't have a Blu-ray player.
I mean, I have something that plays Blu-ray.
There's
I'm
like
sure.
4 or 5 copies of it.
Is there really?
Yeah.
It's
Most of
weird.
which are not even opened.
I also have
Ridiculous.
3 books of the Godfather quotes that people bought me.
Yeah.
Yeah, my father got me a really nice gift. That was all about the show notes from the Godfather. It was very cool. All right, let's get this show moving this morning. Thank you, Nahal. I got your text. Nahal told me what the name of the sweatsuit was and where to get it. That's I probably been the person I should have gone to first.
Did she also tell your wife that you were dreaming about her crashing in a plane crash
So
the
you
other day?
can look up more chicks.
I hope not, but I did tell Amanda that yesterday when she because I came home and she goes, seriously, I don't think I'm going to go to New Jersey. And I go, because of this air traffic thing? And she goes, yeah. I go, that's ridiculous, Amanda. I go, they're just trying to do this. And we had the whole conversation. I go, you'll be fine. And I crossed my fingers. And then,
By the way, I was completely joking about it on air.
well, I said it like this. I go, oh, did you hear the show this morning? Like, I have to find out first. And she's like, no. I go, I was joking around. I said that if your plane crashed, that would be great because I'd get the insurance money and stuff. And she just looked at me and she's like, of all the anxiety I'm having about that, I go, oh, no, I know. I didn't know at the time.
So she was worried about dying in a plane crash and then found out
and then you're thinking
you were
about it.
secretly rooting for that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. I mean, I told her, I was like, think of I go, I told her, I said, in reverse, you would be even better for you. And she goes, what do you mean? I go, if I died in a plane crash, you would be really rich.
Yeah.
And you get all the insurance money. And that's it. You wouldn't have to do nothing.
I was like, how is me dying in a plane crash better for me?
No. You don't have to live with me anymore.
Yeah.
But really, once these things happen once, the odds of them happening again at the same place are very little, I think.
I don't
Yeah.
know. Remember, there was a stretch like a plane caught on fire, a helicopter crashed. There was another one that like got lost, like all within like a month of each other,
Yeah.
like recently.
That's
So-
true. They were missing.
Right.
Plus, I think Trump's going to drop one out of the sky right now, or somebody's going to drop one out of the sky to make Trump look bad.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
You can always drive like I do. It's not so bad. It's only like 20 hours.
That's what I said. I said, if you don't want to fly, I got you, boss.
The old road trip.
Tom will take you. I'm not going on that road trip. Can you imagine? I went from hoping that she goes down in a plane crash to being trapped in a car with her for 22 hours. You're out of your mind. If I don't have to drive, I mean, I don't mind the driving, but if I don't have to drive, like being in the back of the Sprinter, like we went to New Orleans, I don't mind that at all.
No.
I'll go to sleep and just wake me up when we're there.
That is pretty nice.
That is the way to go. That was a fun trip. When's our next road trip?
I mean, Super Bowl next year is in San Francisco.
Can't drive there,
No.
but they were talking about sending us there, which I can't see how that's going to be possible.
I can't see how that's possible.
We'd have to
either.
tape the whole show,
Yeah. And then
which is fine with me.
the following year, it's in Atlanta.
That'll be easier.
Yeah.
Maybe. No, I don't know. I was like, maybe we just send somebody out there next year with the Comrex, and then we do the recording from back here. But that won't be. Where is it? San Diego?
San Francisco.
San Francisco. San Francisco's. I mean, I know it's got a really bad reputation, but it's a really nice place.
Oh, for Super Bowl, though, they'll clean it right up.
Oh, yeah. They'll get rid of all the homeless.
Yeah.
They run all the homeless out of town
Clean it up
for
nice.
That's true.
10 days, and then
They already did that whenever the president of China came over.
Yeah.
Like, look
Yeah.
at this.
I mean, I went there and they didn't clean the homeless, and it still was okay.
Yeah.
And then we can go by Carmen. We could go by the full house.
Listen, I'm in. I've only been to California once when I was like 10 or
Yeah.
like 8 or 10 or something. I was really, really young. So I would love to go.
San
Just so-
Francisco is. I mean, it's so weird in California. You can go to California 4 different times and never see the same place in California.
Right. It's
You-
so big.
Yeah, you go to San Francisco, it is entirely different than San Diego, which is entirely different than Los Angeles. It's so many different Californias, and then Monterey is the most beautiful place I've ever seen, and it is. You don't even realize that you're in California anymore. California is such a big, weird state. That's why I only give half the grief to Newsom, because I don't know how one person governs that whole state. That's why it's falling apart. It's just too many different areas to take care of.
They need double mayor.
Double governor.
Double
Yeah.
governor.
They really do. I mean, you gotta have a city governor and you have to have a country governor.
It should be two states.
And wine country and all that other stuff is so it should. Yeah, it
That's
absolutely
what I
should.
want to
Split it in
do.
the middle.
You do want to do that? I
Wine
never wanted to
country.
do that.
Yeah, but I like wine. Like I
Yeah.
enjoy that, and I just think that would be like really fun and relaxing to go do, just to be like go sip wine and
We
you know.
did. Joe. We did the wine tasting at my house.
Yeah.
that one time?
Yeah, that was great.
Carmen, were you there for that?
No,
Why not?
Not
I was
invited.
not invited.
That is not true.
Oh.
Yeah.
That is not
You
true.
didn't even
Definitely
set it up.
true.
Spanish set it
Yeah.
up.
Right. No, I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't specify.
Yeah, I didn't say you didn't invite me. But I was not invited.
I wasn't invited either.
I don't know if I was invited.
Of
but
course you were. There's no way that I had something at my house and didn't invite you guys.
Yeah, because Spanish set it up, but it was like for a group of like 6 or 8. Like
Oh,
you only
yeah. Might
have
have been
so
true.
many people.
Okay.
But
that might have
also, what I was going to say is, I don't know whether I was invited or not. I may have been, but also that's not something that I would do.
Yeah, I would like. There are certain things I don't even think I'm like, God, would do this.
Yeah.
But that was actually a pretty good time.
Yeah.
I was surprised how fun that is and how drunk you get
Oh yeah.
really
Yeah.
quick.
Wine
Because
will
if you don't
sneak
spit
up
it
on ya.
out, yeah, because like normally in wine tasting, you're supposed to spit it out.
Yeah,
You're not
We-
supposed to drink it. But so if you drink it, you end up getting hammered. I heard.
we didn't spit it out, and we
Yeah.
bought a lot of wine,
Yeah.
and we drank a lot of wine, and then there was people throwing up at my house. It
Oh,
was
yeah.
pretty interesting.
Oh.
Carmen, I heard this girl say, "Why spit when you can swallow?"
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Put it
Who
in
says
mouth-
that?
mouth bags.
I don't know what that means. Mouth bag, mouth pouch,
Mouth pouch.
Oh yeah,
mouth sack.
Yeah. Stick it in the mouse sack.
Yeah.
You guys know a little bit about this, but we have an event coming up in July
Mm.
that I think is going to be. I think it's going to be the best event this radio station's ever done.
Oh man.
Is that officially happening now?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
You block out.
Save
What
the
is
date.
it?
I mean, I don't think it's a secret.
No one
Right.
ever
I
tells me
think it
anything. They
is.
just said
Yeah.
keep your July
Did-
or
yeah.
keep your summers open. And I was like,
Yeah.
I mean, I would like to go on vacation.
Keep
They're
the
like,
entire month of July open.
yeah, just be ready for something to happen. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, well,
It is a beach party weekend.
Oh.
Similar to when I had my 50th birthday party at the Postcard Inn,
okay,
but way better.
okay.
Well-
It's like that on steroids.
And now the cat's out of the bag.
Mm.
No, I mean, there's more involved in it.
There will
but-
also be cats there.
no, there'll be no cat, no
Yeah.
pets. It'll be bigger. It'll be better. I don't know. I that's about all I want to say. It'll be a lot of fun. Like a lot of times people come up with ideas like, I don't know, just let me know what you guys are doing. And this one I was like, oh yeah, we could do this and we could do that. And I was very excited about it. And
I'll
think
be
you'll
wearing
love
my knockoff Lululemon that weekend.
it. You know who I think will love it, Carmen?
Who?
Ashley.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we had a lot of fun at Postcard Inn. That's where we met.
Yeah.
That's
I
where
know,
our
that's
best
why I said
friendship
that.
began.
Yeah, I know.
So yeah.
She came right up to me and she's like, "Hi, I'm Ashley," and I went, "This is going to be the best weekend of my life." And she
Yeah.
goes, "This is my giant husband, and we'd like to meet Carmen." And I went,
Yeah.
"All right, well, see you guys later." No, that is going to be something that's going to be fun, and it's going to be happening, and hopefully we'll have more information for everybody soon.
Now, I know it's in July. Can we narrow that down a little bit?
I'll text you the date.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, I'll text you the date. Why? What are you doing? Where are you going?
Nowhere. I would like to plan ahead of time. We have dogs and stuff like that. And
Yeah.
it's just, I'd like to know because, again, I think football starts back up around that time anyway, or before then. So Chad can't go anywhere.
I
You know what I mean?
have a vacation coming up in August too that I have to give you guys the dates so that we could either decide to take that week as a vacation week or whatever you guys want to do.
Right.
All right, good. See, now I'm excited. We're talking about taking off. My wife going down in the plane crash,
Oh, my God.
and then me planning out a vacation. When we come back from break, we're going to play Sporkle. Carmen will tell you what we have to give away. We got the Bone Bonus coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. We'll give you the keyword. You'll put it in the app, and you can win $1,000. That's happening at 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, noon, 2, and 5. And then what else? We have a brand new open letter today.
Yes.
And can I talk about tomorrow?
Yes.
Tomorrow, for the first time ever, the guy who is responsible for my greatest, most embarrassing snub ever, the genius of football, Bucks general manager Jason Light's going to join us on the show.
Nice.
Very excited about that. How the hell did that happen?
Ah.
It's not happening.
Oh,
Now-
boy.
Good job, Gio.
Now that you've said it out loud, it makes me
Oh,
very nervous.
man. Yeah. All right. Well, hopefully that's supposed to happen.
Yes,
tomorrow,
no, that's confirmed.
so. Good. I'm
Through
excited.
the,
for
through the
that.
Bucks, they've confirmed that.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Okay, good. Very excited. All right, let's take a break. We got Sporkle when we come back. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 102.5 The Bone.
We have tickets for Say Santa,
Yeah.
Billy Idol,
Billy Idol's this weekend, right?
Yeah.
Billy Idol and
Joan
Joan Jett.
Jett.
Yeah.
Stained,
Okay.
Welcome to Rockville,
Rockville, that's a huge ticket.
And it's for the whole weekend.
Yeah.
We also have tickets for George Lopez,
Okay. See.
Mike Campbell,
Okay. See.
and Russell Dickerson.
WrestleMania. All right, we got your tickets. A little bit of Sporkly yesterday. Gio won.
Yes.
Gio won yesterday. There is no rule. Everybody, it's up for grabs. Here we go. Let's find out how we're going to make out today on Sporkly. Here we go. Carmen is the keeper of Sporkle. Pap is your judge and scorekeeper. What happened, Carmen? We had a little dead air?
No, EAS test. I guess you just can't hear it on your end.
Oh, okay.
But
I was freaking out for a second.
Explain yourself.
Yeah. All right, Carmen, what are we playing today?
okay, today we're going to be playing CBS shows from the early 2000s. Can you name the missing word from these shows that premiered on CBS in the 2000s?
This is the one period of my life where I didn't really watch TV.
Yeah, and CBS.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Of Practice.
Out.
Mike. Yes.
Man.
Dear.
Dear. Mike Calta. Brother. Blank
Big.
brother.
Ugh.
Geo. The Race.
Amazing.
Mike. How I
Bet.
Your Mother. Galvin.
Oh.
Pap Pap.
No,
That was Galvin.
That was fine.
Okay.
I was just surprised.
Minds.
Enemy.
Criminal.
Criminal. Galvin. Let's make a
Deal.
Pap Pap.
Mike Calta.
Nope. Gio.
Thank you.
Geo gets the point. Integrity. Gary.
Unmarried.
Galvin.
Jay Moore.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
On Purpose.
Accidentally.
Galvin. That's
Raven.
That's blank. CBS show.
That's stupid.
That's. I don't know.
That's life.
I was going to say that.
Greatest dog.
Trainer.
Race.
Moments.
Greatest American dog.
Race.
And
Yeah.
Pap Pap. We are halfway there.
Gio is on the board with 2 points. Michael is slightly ahead with 3, and Galvin is your leader by 1. He's winning with 4.
Okay. We are doing CBS shows from the early 2000s. Your next one. The New of Old
Adventures.
Christine. Yes, Mike. Joan of
Ark.
Arcadia.
Arcadia. Mike
Arcadia.
Calta.
You didn't let me finish.
The
Whisperer.
Ghost.
Ghost.
Mike.
Also Jay Moore.
The Late Show with Craig Ferguson.
Late.
Late.
Mike. The Big Theory.
Bang.
Bang.
Galvin.
That's his favorite
Mike's
show.
favorite show.
A Trace.
Without.
Mike. Cold.
Case.
Galvin. And Pap Pap. We're on the last 3.
No movement on Gio. He's only still got 2. Galvin with 6, and Michael is your leader right now by 2. He's winning with 8.
All right. We're doing CBS shows from the early 2000s. Last 3. Here we go. 11th.
Hour.
Geo. The Wife.
Good.
Fat.
Good, Mike Calta. And your last one. Rules of
Engagement.
Geo.
By the way, I would 100% watch The Fat Wife.
Isn't it on TLC though? Bye. Didn't they have
There
that?
probably is a fat wife on
My
TLC.
Fabulous Fat Wife is one of the shows.
There's a
My 5,000
My
Pound
Fabulous Fat
Sister.
Life. Or
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
That's a real show.
Yesterday,
Yeah.
I took my daughter to volleyball, and on the way home, I call my wife. I go, "What are you doing?" She goes, "Just watching my 1,000-pound sister,"
Yeah.
or something like that. I don't know.
I think one of them got bit by a donkey or something. I saw like a preview.
I don't know.
They got the midget shows. They got the fat shows.
yeah.
Yeah, they went Maury Povich.
It's
They were
freak
like,
show.
they were
It's
like,
freak show.
we figured out what works.
I love it. I love it.
If you're a freak, we'll put you on TV.
Yeah, yeah. The midget show was after a while I got desensitized to midgets. It was no big deal anymore.
Yeah,
Like, there were too many. I used to love a good midget. Now I'm like, midgets.
I used to watch the Little People Big World show all
Yeah,
the time.
yeah. The
Yeah.
one was the one where they were married, the Asian one.
Yeah.
And they would fight all the time, and like he looked like. It's so funny is I related so much to him as a married man that I was like, he's not even a midget anymore. He's just an exhausted married man.
Yeah.
I get it. I get it now.
Or if you just have a bunch of kids, if you're just dumping out kids all the time, they're like, we'll give you a show.
Yeah. What was it? John and K plus 8. Remember that?
Oh,
That
and
ruined their life.
She hated him.
Yeah.
I love that clip. I never really watched the show, but there was a clip where she's talking to camera and they're sitting on the sofa and she's talking and she turns and she goes, "Can you stop breathing like that?"
Oh, yeah.
It's on
And you think that's him? You think that's him or her?
Oh no, it's 100% her.
Yeah.
I know
and
you-
he's just sitting there and he's like, "Sorry."
And she had the original Karen hair.
Oh, 100.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know you'll find this shocking, but I think now that all the kids are grown up, they all hate the mother and they're
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
split
And-
apart and stuff.
But also the father, I'm pretty sure because he did something like with their
Yeah.
money or something. So like the kids are totally like they don't want anything to do with the parent.
Yeah, like none of the kids talk to each other. They don't talk to the parents, and there was like lawsuits, and they're all, I think, adults now.
See, that's why I'm so happy my kids are just dumb losers. We all get along great.
Yeah, no reality
Yeah,
show.
no reality show. They like me, I like them. We all just
Yeah.
sit around and do nothing, hang out, and be friends. No TV. I'm trying to think like reality show. You think about it would be fun if they came in here and they said we're doing a show about families. Then like they have interesting jobs. Okay, so we have a radio job. You do
Yeah.
the show in your house. This could be a good, but it's like on different families. You're just one of the families we focus on. I'd be like, yeah, that sounds like it'd be kind of cool. And then really, you'd realize that this is terrible.
Yeah, there's
Terrible.
not a whole lot of success stories of people after those reality shows.
No, and most of the time it's negative afterwards.
Yeah,
not
they're like-
not only no success, it's usually real negative.
Yeah, they're like, oh, it was horrible. I wouldn't do it again.
Right.
Even those shows that come in there and make over your house, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh my god, people either sell the house or they put it back the way it was before the show came.
Yeah, the bar rescue's the same thing.
Yeah. Oh, Bar Rescue's a joke.
They did so many bar rescues around this area, and
Yeah.
all those bars are closed.
Closed down.
Well,
Closed down.
the problem with that is John Tapper does know Taffer, does know what he's talking about with a lot of the stuff, but also the people fight him. That's like whenever Gordon Ramsay goes in and does the Kitchen Nightmare, and they're like, "Nope, we're keeping 48 items on our menu," and he's like, "You can't do that
Yeah.
because of this, 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 this." The guy who's very successful running restaurants is coming and telling you how to
Yeah.
do it and spending money and putting all this money into your restaurant, and you're like, "Nope, we're going back to the old
also,
way."
I'm done with Gordon Ramsay.
Why?
Do you know why?
No.
I saw him doing the boom yesterday with the
Oh,
yeah,
Boom family.
that's old news.
You
Him and
made
the
it
Ri-
happen.
Him and the Rizzler were dancing together.
Yeah.
Not only did he did it, but he did the fat mother elbow move.
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Dude, the Bring the Boom guys, Costco guys are huge.
Oh, I know.
They're
I'm not denying their
runaway train.
their success.
Yeah.
Did anybody watch the? I know it's we're talking about other shows, whatever, but the Devil in the Family, the Ruby Frank
No.
thing that's on Netflix, where she became a vlogger, like a YouTuber and stuff, and she had her family, and
This is
then
the one where she was trapping the kids.
yeah,
Yeah, man, told me about it.
it is bananas. I think it's only maybe 5 or 6 episodes. Oh, it's not on
It's on
Netflix.
Hulu.
It's on Hulu, right? Yeah, it's on Hulu. But she is one of those ones that you can tell just by looking at her that she's just such a bitch face. But they have video of unedited stuff, So on YouTube, she's like, "Look at all these markers. We're gonna do this," and blah blah. blah. And she's like all smiley, happy in the camera, whatever. And she does it, and she goes, "Look at all these markers." Blah, blah, blah. I'm recording. Stop making noise! And just yelling at these kids, and then she winds up, trapping them and chaining them and all this stuff. Yeah, it's a pretty wild
Just keeping
watch.
them in cages.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
See, I'm watching the one on Netflix. I can't remember her first name, but it's a YouTube girl. Her last name is like Rockwell, and her mother used to like created like a squad and brought all these kids in, and then she was like kissing them.
Oh,
but she would make
yeah.
them do like crush videos, but like it got really inappropriate. And then she wouldn't let any of the other parents in the house, and all the kids would be like crying and stuff. It's just
My kids
it's,
are not going to anybody's house.
No.
right. And
What?
but
Speaking
yeah.
of Rockwell, is that guy still work here?
I don't think so.
If he doesn't, I get some points.
I think he does.
It's
Yeah.
It's probably where he's on the books,
On the
but
books,
only
yeah.
works like once every 3 years.
Gotcha.
I'll ask John Brennan.
Yeah.
What do we have coming up in news, Galvin?
The Ryan, whatever.
Ryan Adams rule.
Yeah, ridiculous. Coming up in news today, we have lost some weight and some money. Your state sucks, and unlock that popcorn.
Oh, all right. Galvin has your news. We'll take a quick break, come back, and dive right into that next. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 102.5 The Bone. So, yeah, I just thought of something.
What's that?
I bought my mother a gun for Mother's Day one year.
Oh, yeah?
Where is that gun?
Oh. Interesting. Did your wife have it? Did you give it to somebody?
No. I don't.
Did your brother take it?
I got to ask my sister-in-law. Maybe she came across it.
I was like, who cleaned out her house?
My sister-in-law and my wife. Yeah.
They probably have it then.
No, I would have been the first person they brought it to, unless my brother has it.
I remember you referencing that, but I don't know whether it was that you bought it.
I bought her a handgun, and I think it was like
it pink?
It was Tiffany green.
Okay, I knew it was a weird color.
And I forgot. I wonder what the hell happened to that. My mother had a boyfriend too, and he was like, he called me and said, "Hey, when you were cleaning out the house, did you find my gun?" I'm like, no. You guys are very willy-nilly with your guns.
They are?
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
Runs
mine
in the
are
family.
willy-nilly in my house.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is the situation there? You talked to that guy at all or no?
No, I did not like that guy at all.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I mean, like, he was good with my mother. Like, they got along well and they were fine together. But towards the end of the thing, that guy was just an old, confused man. And so he had a third party friend. Now that you bring this up,
Okay. All right. I didn't know I was getting into this.
He was kind of old and, was like, could kind of use some help with his finances and business, like keeping stuff straight or whatever.
Right.
And he had a daughter that lived out of state, and we didn't know her. And anyway, when things were coming down, my mom died, and this woman started calling me, and she was, she's somehow related to Steven Tyler from Aerosmith.
Okay.
She is a friend of this guy, Robert, that my mother was dating, and just so happens to be like a distant relative of Steven Tyler's. I had met her once before, and they had the same last name, whatever his real last name is, starts with a T. I don't remember.
Italian, yeah, something.
Yeah. So this woman called me, and she was like, Robert this and Robert that, and I was like, yeah. I go, who are you? Where are you involved in this thing? She's like, well, I'm like, I don't want to talk to you. Are you when he was manager?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't need. I don't know. Listen to me. Dom talks about this every week on the show, and I never listen to it. And let me tell you how lucky I got. Dom tells you all the time to do a will and trust, get your stuff all taken care of, because even if you have what you think is a will and you leave everything to your wife and kids, if you're like, I'm going to die before them and I'm leaving my stuff to my wife and my kids, my next of kin, my heir, you think that it's not. I got so lucky. This girl, Darlene, who I've known for a long time, she was in my wedding, but I have not really, like, Pete talks to her more than I do. And when she was in my wedding, she was Darlene. I don't even know what she did. Then all of a sudden she went to law school and she became a lawyer and she does real estate law and other stuff or whatever. When my mom was dying, Pete's like, you should just call Darlene. She'll do it. And I was like, okay, whatever. And I just called Darlene. Darlene saved me thousands and thousands of dollars and years of heartache of trying to fight things in court. Because my mother was alive and mentally alive, she was able to sign everything and give me power of attorney before she passed away.
Right.
So when she died, I had the power to do everything. If I didn't, everything would have gone into probate, and I probably still would be dealing with it now.
Yeah.
I can't tell everybody, like, if you ask me in my entire life what's one of the most important lessons I've ever learned, it is to get that stuff in order.
Yeah, I need to do that.
Yeah,
I don't
we
have
all
it.
need to do that.
Yeah, my father has done that. My
Yeah.
father's good. My brother Tim has power of attorney and has been taking care of that stuff, and everything's good. But yeah, myself, my wife says it all the time. She's like, "You need," and I go, "You just want money. Stop talking."
Right.
No, but
Chances are my wife's not going to go down in a plane crash, so I
Yeah.
need to get everything in order.
Yeah, I need to make sure that everything goes to my wife and my son, and that's all taken care of.
Yeah, you just assume. I just was like, oh, my kids will just get everything.
Yeah, but
They don't.
and the other thing too that is really crazy because you think about it, everybody has family, and you either get along or you don't get along, or you somewhat get along or whatever. But even people that get along fantastic.
Oh yeah.
When it comes down to money,
Yep.
Yeah.
people start fighting. Well, that was supposed to be mine, and this, and I was promised this. Well, do you have that in writing? And so that's a big problem too.
Not everybody is lucky as having John Calta for a brother, where he just said, "Just give me whatever comes, whatever it is."
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't even check. I could be robbing him, and he was like, "Just whatever, just come in."
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm telling you right now. I listen to Dom tell people all that all the time, and I don't pay attention to any of it. And then all of a sudden, when it happened to me, I was like, thank God for Darlene, or else I'd have been totally screwed.
Yeah.
Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, time to check in with Galvin. He's got today's news.
And now, news with Galvin on the Mike Calta Show.
Do you know, I can probably name every homeroom teacher I had from first grade all the way up to high school. I can tell you on Wednesdays we had Sloppy Joes. I can tell you everything. I am struggling for the life of me. I can't remember what movie I watched last night before I went to bed.
Godfather.
Oh, no. Thank you. It wasn't. It was Ocean's 11.
Oh, okay.
Thank you. I was like, I can, because the night before I watched Draft Day, or the other day I watched Draft Day, and then I was like, what am I? It was Ocean's 11.
Can I tell you what sets up Ocean's 11 so fantastically? Why that's such a good movie? It's so Clooney. Is because when Danny Ocean comes and it's just him in a chair in front of the board and stuff, and they're talking to him about whether he's going to get released or whatever this and that. And what are you going to do with your life, Danny? And then it's him, and it's just a shot of him, and he just barely smiles, and the music starts, and you're like, here we go, Ocean's 11, we're doing it.
It's really,
and the way that's put together is done so well.
And how hard it must have been to nail all those celebrities down.
Oh,
Get all that together.
Shane Gillis has a great bit about them redoing that with all the ladies. He goes, "Did you ever see the Ocean's 11 they did? And it's just a bunch of hot ladies." He goes, "That movie should have been like 20 minutes long. They just show up and the security guards go, 'Oh my God, you're so gorgeous. Just take everything.'" They're just doing sexual favors on him. And so here's the keys to everything.
Yeah, it's still a movie that holds up. I enjoy the Ocean.
The sequels
movies.
stunk.
I don't think they stunk. The one with Al Pacino was less exciting, but the second one I thought was
The
pretty
Julia
good.
Roberts one where she pretends she's
terrible.
Julia Roberts.
That was terrible.
That's where it lost me so much. I was like, this is so bad.
Yeah, but I think it was just. I think people were like. I think it was just like a little hokey angle.
Yeah, but it was a major plot point.
Right, yeah. That stunk. That was terrible.
It could have been a throwaway joke, but it was like the major pivotal part of the story.
The whole Bruce Willis thing.
Yeah. Oh, you look like Julia Roberts.
Yeah.
Come on.
By the way, every movie that he does, Brad Pitt is eating.
Yeah, he says that.
Yeah.
That's his
thing. Yeah.
I've been watching
that fly's
Moneyball.
still in here.
When I fall asleep, and he's always eating an apple.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Moneyball
Eating
is
an apple
great
or eating something with a spoon.
Yeah,
that he does weird spoon moves with, and you're like, what's going on?
All right, what do we have in news, Galvin?
Today's top story, top U.S. officials are set to meet with high-level Chinese delegation this weekend in Switzerland in the first major talks between the two nations since President Donald Trump sparked a trade war with stiff tariffs on imports. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent and U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer will meet their counterparts in Geneva in the most senior-known conversations between the two countries in months. That's according to the Trump administration. They announced it on Tuesday. It comes amid growing U.S. market worry over the impact of the tariffs on the prices and supplies of consumer goods. No country has been hit harder by Trump's trade war than China, the world's biggest exporter and second largest economy.
And what's China doing? Are they stepping up to the plate?
Well, they're coming to talk.
Yeah?
They're coming to talk. They're going to say, we don't like this. Let's change this. We'll see what happens.
You think they're going to say, we don't like this?
That's more Japanese.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
What's Chinese?
Chinese is
That's
more.
we don't like this.
Yeah.
That sounds racist.
Yeah.
We don't like this. That doesn't sound racist?
You know that sounds like Mr. Miyagi.
Yeah.
You know, make good tariff.
Okinawa.
Terra fear, no terra fear. Yeah, I don't. I like the other one better, but it just sounds like it's like I'm making fun of them.
I think either way you're making fun of them. I have a feeling. The captain of the Clearwater Ferry issued a statement thanking those who helped save lives during the deadly crash in late April. In a statement provided by an attorney, Captain Dennis Kimmerer said that he was thankful to have survived the incident, saying, quote, "I consider myself fortunate to be alive and deeply thankful to the heroic passengers, first responders, good Samaritans, and medical professionals whose quick action saved lives during and after the collision. My thoughts are with all of those who were injured, and especially with the family mourning the loss of a beloved father." The Clearwater Ferry is expected to resume normal operations on Thursday. The Pinellas Suncoast Transit Authority said the vessel carrying passengers will not be the same one that was involved in the crash.
Boy, I gotta tell you, the way they're handling this has just been pure genius.
It's back and forth.
Well,
Let's have the captain put out a statement.
Listen, Kevin Hazlett got ahead of this thing. Within 24 hours, the complete narrative had changed.
Oh, yeah.
When the accident happened, Jeff Knight was a drunk who already had a boating accident before, and he is responsible for this, and he killed this guy.
Everybody had torches and pitchforks.
They were ready to chase him out of town, string him up. And within 24 hours, Kevin Hazlett had it too. He was a hero who stayed on the scene and helped people out, saved an 8-week-old baby.
Had somebody on board call 911.
Yep.
Took a breathalyzer.
0.0. Yeah. I mean, the way that they've turned, and the ferry had no lights on it. The way they've turned this around has been 100% amazing. I don't know what the truth is. I wasn't there. I like to listen to all the facts and then make a decision. And right now, the facts are saying that this is just a pure accident. I don't know whose fault it was. It was the fact that they were poorly lit ferry, or the fact that this guy may have been driving like a lunatic. I don't know. They do have video of it. They have video of the boat actually hitting the other boat. So I'm surprised. Not surprised. I see that they did not mention Jeff Knight by name in the thank you letter. Yeah, evidently he stuck around and helped. They just said Good Samaritan.
Yeah.
They didn't say, hey, and to the guy who hit us. I don't know. This is going to be interesting how this plays out. But one thing Galvin pointed out yesterday, I think you said this off the air, was they're all going to be open up to civil suits anyway.
I think Gio said that, yeah.
One of you guys, yeah. So it's all going to be, I mean, there's going to be a bunch of money.
Especially if you're dealing with a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I would imagine you're still somewhat liable if you were the one that crashed into the boat, even though they had no lights.
And really, to make things go away, that's where the settlement comes. You're
like not criminally, but you're still liable, I would assume. I don't know.
Right, but also it's if you want to do this for the next 10 years of your life, of go through this, or do you just want to pay everybody and just make it go away?
Yeah.
Because also while you're waiting for the next 10 years for this to all play out in court, because you're going to have to, each individual one is going to say you're either going to reach a settlement with everybody, or you're going to be tied up in the court system, and you're going to be paying legal fees the entire time. It's easier to just go in there and settle.
There was like 20-something people on the boat, I thought, on the ferry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And all of those people are going to have a case.
One died.
Yeah.
Money, please. Yeah.
But don't they? But wouldn't they be more like better off going after the ferry and not him?
No. He's got the money.
Yeah.
Deep pockets.
But I mean, the ferry, isn't that the city?
Yeah, if the ferry didn't have lights.
The city also has a cap on how much you can go after them for.
Don't you listen to Dom?
Yeah, come on, Carmen. Jesus, you're no lawyer.
Cap it.
No, but I don't really know, Carmen, because I don't know if the ferry is owned by a private company and leased through the city. But if it goes through the city, a lot of times those places like the police and the schools and all that stuff, they'll have a $200,000 cap on how much you can get. So even if you're maxed out, but if you go after a guy who's got a couple of $1 million and you go after his assets, you're making way more money.
But I just figured if he wasn't charged for anything yet, then it would be harder to go after him if he's not at fault for the accident.
He's definitely at fault. I mean, he hit his boat, hit that boat, so it's definitely.
Right, but it's because the ferry didn't have lights.
Well,
so technically, the ferry's at fault.
And there is video out. I know what you're saying, but there is video out of the boat hitting the other boat. The ferry definitely had lights. It may have not had
proper lights.
They're saying. Yeah. They're saying there was. I think there was a light on the stern that they're saying was not there, and that's why he couldn't see. But all that
40 passengers.
40 passengers on the
ferry. Yeah.
And
Who is riding the ferry?
Yeah.
Who is riding that ferry at night?
Also, the other thing is his boating requirements and laws and stuff and everything. You have to have certain lighting and
Right.
stuff. Just like with cars, you have to have certain this, and your tag has to be able to be seen and all that stuff. So if they do that and just make a whole list of, well, they didn't have this, and they didn't have this, and they didn't have this. So yeah, who knows how it'll wind up shaking out.
And the last time that the ferry was inspected,
Sure.
there could
Look at
be
all that
it
stuff.
could be the fault of the of whoever does that, or
And
somebody could have been lying.
The captain, is he all up to date on all of his
Right.
stuff that he has to do? Yeah, so
There's a lot to
follow.
look at here, but it's
Yeah.
very. I mean, it's sad because somebody died, but the lives of everybody on both boats are going to be turned upside down for a while.
What are you doing if you're? None of us are going to be on a ferry, but if you're on a ferry
Yeah,
and you see a boat coming at you, what are you doing?
jumping off.
Jump off.
Yeah, I'm jumping off.
But the thing
But
is,
if
you
you-
jump off and
sure.
that boat turns left, it's running over you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Right.
Absolutely. I'm not saying that it's anybody's fault, but I think I'm jumping off early and swimming away.
But you
But
run a
didn't he
risk.
hit-
Sure, yeah.
The
But
boat's
did-
also coming from behind too,
Right.
so you don't know, and you probably think there's no way that boat. Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's hauling ass. So
Yeah.
it probably happened. It's from behind. It happened fast.
Imagine
and-
you're on that boat. Imagine you're the parents of that 8-week-old baby, and you're on that boat, and all of a sudden you just smash into something. You're going and you're humming along, and all of a sudden,
I mean,
boom.
they said it was a horrific scene with people just,
Yeah.
And I gotta imagine the guy that died must have gotten hit, like
Directly.
crushed by the boat.
Yeah.
You would think.
Oh, horrible
Horrible.
for everybody.
U.S. News and World Report released its annual ranking of the best states based on things like education and the economy. What state do you think came in number one? United States best state, according to U.S. News, World and Report, ranking on education, economy, different things like that.
I don't even know. I mean, we're all falling apart, all the states, and we're all dumb.
Oregon.
Oregon,
Connecticut.
Connecticut.
Massachusetts. I was just thinking of Harvard.
Washington.
Yeah.
Gio, you're close.
What did you say? What did you say?
Oregon.
See, Washington.
Idaho.
You Idaho.
You're moving further away. Utah.
Utah.
Yeah.
Utah is number one for the third straight year.
Oh.
How you like that? New Hampshire came in second, followed by Idaho, Joe.
Oh, Joe.
Minnesota, Nebraska, and Florida.
Well, we made the list.
Yeah, we're in the
Oh,
top. How you like
yeah.
that? What's the worst state? What's the worst state
California.
according to U.S. News and World Report? California? No.
Michigan.
No. That was a
some
shot
real redneck.
That was a shot at you, Carmen.
Some really Kentucky.
No.
Louisiana.
Louisiana. Joe knows the
Oh,
states.
Yeah.
Joe
Yeah.
knows the states. Louisiana, yeah.
It's Louisiana's a dump.
Yeah.
Well,
Except New Orleans.
Yeah.
It's a fun dump.
It's fun.
Yeah.
It's a gritty city.
Yeah.
Yep.
Dirty. Good food.
I had a great time.
Good food. Good food. You don't probably want to know how it's made, which is
Oh,
good.
man,
Yeah, you don't want to watch it.
Right.
You don't want to see.
I imagine there's somebody stirring the gumbo at some point with their arm. You know what I mean? Like they're just sticking
and
their
that's
arm.
fine with me.
Yeah.
Ooh, speaking of good food, you know where I ate last night?
Where?
Jazzy's barbecue.
Oh, nice.
Oh, no barbecue sauce.
Yeah.
Still delicious.
Yeah.
I just had 2 ribs, and it was fantastic. I was sitting there waiting for my daughter to get out of volleyball. I took them to McDonald's before volleyball.
Mm.
Now
Before
I just-
volleyball.
Yeah, they get out of school and they're starving. You know when you get out of school and you just want like a snack.
Yeah, but
you want
also
something.
you're a kid. You can handle that. Like if we ate McDonald's and then went to play volleyball, it'd be like clean up.
They went and played volleyball for an hour and a half, and then an hour and a half later they went to Taco Bell.
Oh.
So that's what kids do.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just sitting there waiting, and all my stomach's growling, and I went, "Oh my, I'm near Jazzy's barbecue." So I rolled over there. It was very hard to not get barbecue sauce, but it was still delicious. Very good.
Sounds good. Speaking of eating stuff without barbecue sauce, Weight Watchers filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Oprah.
So they're not shutting down, and they plan to keep helping customers lose weight. But first, they're going to lose about $1 billion worth of debt. Yeah, so they're
That's the Oprah effect.
yeah.
You spend all that money on Oprah, now you can't. What, right? Didn't they give Oprah like
Yeah.
half the company or
Well,
something?
yeah, she was their spokesperson, and I believe she did. I don't know whether she bought into it or that was part of the deal or how
Yeah.
it worked out, whatever. But yeah, she's definitely was involved in it.
You start giving away the company, and you give a big chunk to Oprah, and then how do you expect to recover from that?
Yeah.
Oprah
Well,
not nearly as powerful when she's not on TV.
No.
But I think she gave up some of her shares or a lot of her shares because it came out that she was using Ozempic but she was pushing Weight Watchers and everyone was like, that's false advertisement. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's why Weight Watchers have $1 billion worth of debt now. It's because of Oprah lying to the people.
Mike Calta Show, good morning. I don't know why I tried.
Hi, sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
Hey, I was just talking about the Jeff Knight Clearwater ferry incident.
Okay.
From what I was reading on the Tampa Bay Times is that, or the Tampa Bay 10, was that everybody on the boat was saying that what his story, all of what the lawyer said wasn't true. The victims are all saying that everything wasn't true that he said, that his lawyer said.
Well, I mean, it's gonna be his word versus theirs, and that's gonna come out in court. But we weren't there, so nobody knows what was true.
No, true.
Yeah.
I was just saying, like, I thought it was weird that everybody was kind of switching up the story, but it was the victims, the people that were there were saying that it wasn't true, and then his lawyer's saying one thing. I think it's just crazy altogether.
Yeah, that is the job of the lawyer, to take the narrative and change it, which they did immediately. Within 24 hours of what you had heard and what you thought, the lawyer put enough information out there to make you go, oh, okay, maybe. So now you don't know. And what's going to happen is they're going to have to prove it to you in court. And until you can prove one way or the other, you're going to have to assume that that both sides are innocent until proven guilty.
Well, and like you were saying, Mike, like if they go after the ferry or the city, they're not going to get that much. So if they go after him, who has money, so of course their story is going to be he was driving reckless to make him at fault, to make it more likely to get.
But the idea that the guy has a history of a boating incident is not helping him. And instead of turning this into this is a habitual offender, they turned it into hey, this is just an unfortunate accident that had less to do with the driver and more to do with the inadequacies of the ferry, which I don't know is necessarily true, but that is what the story is now. So what people believe will remains to be seen. Mike Calta Show, good morning.
Hey, good morning, Mike. I have some information on the ferry thing you said you were talking about.
Yeah, what do you know?
Yeah. So the ferry, first of all, I know the owners of the ferry. The ferry is privately owned in a cooperation partnership with Pinellas Transit. Number one, it runs from Coachman Park to the Clearwater Marine. It's a ferry service. The people were coming back from the Sugar Sand Festival.
Okay.
That's why there were so many people on there.
Gotcha.
The other thing, too, I read today was one of the passengers made a statement that was the lawyer said that they said that they were all the crew, they were watching dolphins, and the question is, how could they see them watching dolphins if they never saw the boat?
Well,
so,
I mean,
there's a lot of misinformation going on.
Listen, I have no reason to defend either side, but if I'm on a boat and I'm watching dolphins and I'm paying attention to a dolphin running alongside of the boat, I mean, that happens a lot when you go out on the boats. I have a place on the water. I see dolphins out there all the time, and they're usually chasing the boats. So if you're out there and you're paying attention to a dolphin that's on the side of your boat, that could have been when your attention. That doesn't make it. Doesn't make you not neglectful for not looking forward. You know what I'm saying? But that could have been the reason why.
Yeah. Well, and I'm a captain. I'm a captain on the water in Clearwater. I know that area very well.
Yeah.
So there are dolphins. You don't see them that much at night, but you can definitely know that they're out there.
What's
but anyway, I wanted.
What's the speed in that area? Is that normally going that fast in that part of the water?
So there's a no wake zone that comes from the Clearwater Marina out to where the pass goes towards Clearwater Pass. Once you're past that, there is no speed limit.
Yeah.
You're supposed to operate in a safe manner. I can tell you at night, as fast as that boat is, as many times as I've been out there, I would never be going that fast at night.
Yeah,
I mean
you may hit another
dark.
boat.
Well, you may hit there's also channel markers that are not lit out there.
Yeah.
So, I mean, those things, and I've seen them, you come up on them, and you could be 10 feet away, and you just see them. You don't have headlights on a boat like you do on a car.
No. Well,
there's nothing you can see in front of you.
Is that the light that they're claiming that the ferry missed, the stern light in the front?
No, the stern light's in the rear. Stern is the rear of the boat, yeah. Yeah, well, it's kind of hard to now dispute that since they ran over the back of it and they probably destroyed whatever stern light was there.
That
the other thing the attorney, one more thing the attorney did say was that that the ferry should have warned the boat with horn blasts to avoid a collision. And that's true, but that's only if a boat's coming at you. You can't see a boat coming up behind you. You don't have rear view mirrors. You're not always looking in the back. It's up to the boat that's overtaking another boat to be responsible to get out, move out of the way.
Plus, coming at that speed from behind, they probably didn't notice until it was too late.
There, exactly.
Right there.
Exactly.
Hey, appreciate the call, sir. Thank you very much.
Hey, sure, you bet.
Have a good day.
Thanks, Captain.
Mike Calta Show. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, everybody.
What's happening?
Hey, I think Oprah may have played a part in Weight Watchers, but you got to admit there's a bunch of lazy Americans that are just like, I'll take a shot. I don't have to eat well or exercise, and I'll just use this Ozempic crap. So I think that played a big part of them going down.
You're definitely, but you're definitely wrong. You don't just take Ozempic and all of a sudden you still have to diet and you still have to exercise, or you can see that people that take Ozempic and don't do anything end up with Ozempic face and Ozempic body. I mean, there's a lot that needs to go along with it. Weight Watchers.
But what he's saying is, as an alternative to weight.
Sure, would rather just take a pill than follow the diet. But also, Weight Watchers has been around since the 60s. And when you come out there and you spend all of that money on your advertising with Oprah, I mean, you're looking at something and you're saying, hey, we're going to take a huge step and we're going to dump all of our money into the Oprah endorsement. At that point, you probably spent more than you've ever spent before. And you gave her a piece of the company, and now you're going into bankruptcy.
And then she gets busted using Ozempic.
Right.
By the way, while we were talking about it, they had it on TV that they were talking about the Weight Watchers thing. In fact, they're talking about it now. They showed Oprah on a bike, and she kicks her legs out. It looks so bad. It's like, oh, Jesus.
How about that, though? Oprah, $1 billion, just can't beat the weight thing. Just shows you how.
Has a personal chef, has a trainer, has all that stuff.
I mean, she's not as fat as she once was.
No. But I mean, it's one of those things that she with all the resources can't beat it because it's that addictive.
She did the Chicago Marathon. She ran the Chicago Marathon, and she even brought out a wagon with the amount of weight that she lost and stuff. And she talked about it, and she goes, I realized how overweight I was when I was watching a heavyweight fight, and I weighed more than the heavyweight champion.
Bobby's jokes are the best about how he Googled what he was fatter than, and he was fatter than a baby elephant.
Yeah,
he was fatter than a refrigerator. He was fatter than a pool table. He goes, I weighed more than a pool table. It's crazy.
Speaking of being fat, Burger King must face a lawsuit claiming that they misled customers with advertisements that makes the Whopper appear larger than it actually is.
Also, how are they letting them call them onion rings when there's no onions in them?
Yeah, that flavored. But here's the thing. That's advertising. All advertising does that. Yeah, you're never going to get a Whopper like it looks in the picture.
No.
But you're also never getting this or that looks like in the picture,
Right.
you know?
Right, we're used to that.
But haven't you seen the signs? Like, I think the one that I saw, it was like at Walmart, and it was a sign hanging from the ceiling, and it was a cinnamon roll, and it literally said, "This is not the actual size of the cinnamon roll."
You know
what I mean?
You got to put not actual size.
Right. Most advertisements have that. So if they didn't have that, then just like the footlong, remember?
Yep.
It was like 11.5, and the lady sued because they advertised footlong, and it wasn't exactly a footlong.
A couple things. Speaking of Subway, they can't call their bread. It's not actually bread.
What is it?
It's a dessert because it has so much sugar and stuff and everything.
Really?
So yeah, it's not considered bread. So they can. And I forget, is it Pringles? I think have to call it potato crisps. They're not chips. They're not actually chips.
Wow, I was
they don't have
aware
enough
of it.
potatoes.
There's a few different things. Yeah, they're not made with enough potatoes to consider it potato chips or whatever. But then also a brilliant idea, I think, and I don't know who's buying it. I'm not necessarily buying it, but Subway doing, hey, we're known for the footlong thing, whatever. Now they do footlong cookies, and they just started doing footlong nachos. Did you see that?
I did, yeah.
With Doritos, and they're doing footlong nachos. Yeah, it's crazy.
Come on, Gio, kill that bug.
These like little bugs. There's more today than there was yesterday.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Do you see more than one?
I only see one.
There's
Joe, did we throw the garbage?
Yeah, I took it out this morning.
Oh, my God.
I think we have an infestation.
Oh, no.
It's probably coming in here for all your farts.
My farts?
Yeah.
I haven't farted. I've been holding my farts in.
I don't believe that.
Have you smelled them?
Yes.
No, you're
Oh, easy, buddy. Easy.
Full of fudge.
You're full of. You're full of.
Calm down.
Full of fudge.
How about this? A 68-year-old woman in Switzerland was in court yesterday after she's been accused of repeatedly feeding Leo, her neighbor's cat. In Sweden, that's against the law.
Oh.
Yeah, you shouldn't be able to feed.
That's
your
a
neighbors.
violation of Swiss law. She is facing fines of more than $5,000 for feeding the neighbor's
Yeah,
cat.
don't feed
Why?
my animal.
Yeah.
If somebody was
Don't have
feeding
an
your
outside
dog, you'd
animal
be
then.
very upset.
Well, I'm also not letting my dog in areas where other people can feed my
Right.
dog.
If they were throwing stuff over the fence when your dog's in the backyard,
If they're throwing stuff over my fence.
you lose your goddamn
Oh,
mind.
yeah. We're going to have trouble. I'm burning your house down.
Yeah, I mean, I would. Well, what would you do if you felt like your neighbor was neglecting their dog or their cat?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I worked at every radio station I've worked at. There's some lady that works at the radio station that feeds the neighborhood cats.
Mhm.
There's always somebody.
Remember your dad got in trouble for feeding the ducks?
My
Or
father-in-law. Yeah.
Father-in-law.
My father-in-law was feeding the ducks in his backyard, and somebody from across the lake called the homeowners association and ratted him out.
Oh.
And then they went to his house and they threatened him, and his only violation was feeding the ducks. That was it. And it wasn't because he was not feeding them the right thing. Like, what do we give him? You're supposed to give him corn or instead of bread or whatever, Carmen, that you're always telling us.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not
no
bread.
Yeah, so maybe he was feeding them, and that's not what they were mad at. They didn't want him to attract the ducks to bring the ducks over there because the ducks poop on stuff. That
I
was
told
their-
you it was, I don't know, years ago or whatever. Animal control showed up to my house and said that they had reports of mistreating my dogs. And I go,
You?
Yeah, I go, you have the wrong house. I started laughing. And she goes, yeah. I go, these dogs are treated so well.
Were you like,
I-
I'm a volunteer?
Yeah,
at
yeah.
the-
I go, I'm pretty sure you have the wrong house. And she goes, oh, okay. She goes, I don't know who did it, whatever. She goes, it may be the wrong address.
Do
or
they
something.
did they look at your dog?
No, they didn't even say it. I mean, it was so obvious that
What
they
if
were
you're
wrong.
like, yeah, I've been electrocuting him for the
Yeah.
past hour. Like, what are you gonna do?
But I go, you have the wrong house. I
Yeah.
go, there couldn't be anything further from the truth.
That's a great way to handle. Next time the cops show up, I'm gonna go. You have the wrong
Yeah.
house. You have the wrong house.
And I wondered what your neighbor heard then, like someone yelling
No,
at their
there's-
dog.
I'm
or-
I'm assuming, Carmen,
It's
that
the
it
way he
had to
treats Jenny.
It had to. Yeah, they thought it was a cat. But I'm assuming they had the wrong address because
You don't think
there's-
somebody was just messing with you?
No.
but I'm saying also, like, what did one of your other neighbors do? Like, yell at their dogs to
Well,
get inside?
I can tell you that a neighbor, and it was a person that was renting the place, had a dog that was like a little snowball dog.
Yeah.
And it got into our neighbor's yard, and our neighbor was like, hey, there's this dog, whatever. And I go, that's their dog, whatever.
I remember that.
So then
yeah.
they went over and they go, just take it. We don't
Yeah,
want it. And
yeah.
I was like, oh, you gotta be kidding me. And it was such a sweet little dog. Yeah.
I hate that.
Oh, I know.
Like,
What are
why
you
get a
doing?
dog?
Yeah.
I wish I could get more dogs.
Yeah.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
because it's irresponsible, but I wish I could because I love my two dogs and they look like they'd want another person to play with.
Sure.
You know,
Sure. I have a hot or not for you guys. A sex video.
I'm looking right as you said that. The picture of Mark Zuckerberg wearing his meta glasses came on TV, and you're like, "I got a hot or not?" And I was like, "Not hot for sure."
Man,
Nerd.
He's so weird.
He's so weird.
A sex video involving a minor led to the arrest of an Ohio woman.
Oh,
18-year-old Melanie Neville was taken into custody by authorities in Youngstown, Ohio, after she allegedly circulated explicit images and a video of a 17-year-old girl engaged in sexual activity with a male. Neville's arrest came after the 17-year-old's mother went to police, and she was informed by a friend that Neville had allegedly sent a screenshot of the video in question along with nude images of her daughter. The teen said she did have sex with the male, but added that she was unaware of being videoed or recorded. The teen said that she knew of at least 3 other individuals who had been sent a screenshot. Neville was arrested Saturday and charged with pandering obscenity involving a minor. She was giving a $12,000 bond. So this girl's 18. She's from Ohio. Her name's Melanie Neville. And she had video and was sending screenshots of the video of a 17-year-old girl having sex with a dude to other people.
Youngstown, Ohio,
Yeah.
home of the big hose.
Mm.
That's where JoJo's from.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say she's hot.
You say hot.
I'm gonna say hot mostly for this game, but I'm
Yeah.
gonna say she's hot.
Okay. Gio,
Yeah.
what do you think?
No, I'm thinking dirty white trash. She's
Like
kind of
JoJo.
she's kind of upset that the other girl is getting with this other guy, and she's not because she's not hot.
I'll show everyone you're a slut.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so you say not hot.
Not hot.
All right,
No
Carmen, we
chance.
got hot and not hot. Which side you going on?
I'm gonna have to say she's hot.
You're gonna say hot?
18,
Yeah.
making child porn.
Oh.
She
I mean,
was
don't say child.
I mean,
Young
but
adult porn.
Minor.
17, minor.
Yeah.
That's child porn.
Yeah.
It's not as sexy when you say child.
No.
But I mean, I think she's just young and dumb, and she's like, we could start an OnlyFans.
Mm.
You know,
So you're saying
I'm
hot.
saying hot. Yep.
You're saying hot. All right. So you and Mike both say hot. Gio says not hot. Take a look.
Let's see
Joe's
this.
got it on Bone TV.
Let's see this porky bitch.
And we got it here. That's not hot.
No, that's
not even
about
for the
what I
game. Yeah.
expected.
Yeah, that's not
Damn
hot.
it.
Yeah.
I thought she would just be close enough to be kind of hot for the game.
She's jealous and she's getting back at the other girl.
100. Yeah. Yeah.
She's
for
very
sure.
plain Jane.
Yeah.
Not hot.
Although, listen, she's not hot, but if she was made up a little bit into the right clothes,
She can
and
look
stuff,
better.
Yeah, you saw her at a party, you'd be like, all right, I'll take a look.
I mean,
at your-
if
I'll
she's
take a
the
look at your
last person at the party, yeah.
Screenshot.
We got some screenshots over there. What do we got going on?
You want to film it?
Today is National School Nurse Day.
Oh, boy.
It's interesting. You said you can name all your homeroom teachers. Could you name your school nurse?
I could not. I did not go to the nurse's office a lot. I was there a lot, mostly for in-school detention, but not to go see the nurse. No.
Yeah, I would occasionally do the I'm not feeling well,
Yeah.
just to get out of class and go down there. And they'd be like, what's wrong? I think I just need to lay down for a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty much
I
it.
would get in-school detention where you had to report to the nurse's office because there was like a bed in there, like a cot in there.
Yeah.
And they'd go, just stay in here. And I go, well, okay.
Yeah.
You're going to leave me in a room with a bed? Good night, everybody. And I would
Yeah.
just go to sleep.
That seems a little weird. How about this? You're getting excited for Mission Impossible for the Final Reckoning?
I cannot wait.
Well, Regal Cinemas, this seems to be the new thing, is the popcorn container.
Yeah.
Yeah, the one from
Dune.
Dune
that looked like a BH.
They
Some
got
of
a
the different
Jaws
stuff.
one for
Yeah.
the Jaws re-release.
Well, now they have one for Mission Impossible Final Reckoning.
It's Tom Cruise's butthole.
You have to open it with 2 keys.
Oh!
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So you have to open it with
Listen.
2 keys to get the popcorn. The movie comes out on May 23rd.
Galvin, they need to do something
Yeah.
to get people to go to the movies because I traveled to Jazzy's Barbecue yesterday and
Right.
had to pass the AMC theater
Oh, yeah.
and it was empty.
Dust Bowl.
Empty. Like there's a Starbucks there. The Starbucks had more cars in it than the movie theater did.
Yeah, well, I can't imagine too many people are going to the movies
I
during
know,
the day.
I
you
know. Well, it was like a 7:00 on a Tuesday night.
Oh.
And but still, I mean, it was empty for a movie theater that's got 10 screens in it. There should be some people there,
Yeah. How are you making rent?
right? Yeah, Gio, I'm sorry you're getting attacked by a fly.
Yeah, there's like multiple. I feel
Is
like
there
it's,
really?
By the way,
Yeah.
as you were doing that, there was one hitting my leg.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's more than one.
I hate to do it, but you know what we need to do? Turn the air down,
Huh?
freeze them out.
I have my sweatshirt. I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on, but they're multiplying.
Bella Ramsey. She is the chick from Game of Thrones that's now on The Last of Us.
No,
the little
but-
weird looking
Oh,
one.
the weird
Oh,
kid,
yeah.
Yeah. She says, well, they say.
Oh, is she a they?
Oh.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. She's the most they of days I've ever seen.
Yeah.
She's the most that.
Yeah.
I know people got upset that she does not look like the video game character at all.
Can I tell you what she looks like? If you told me that she was the daughter of the principal from Smoking in the Boys' Room,
Yes.
that's
Yes.
exactly what she looks
100%. She also looks like if somebody gave you a Play-Doh and said mold her face, and you started molding it, and then you got that close, and you were like, I don't know, I'm done. And
Yeah.
stopped. And
Yeah.
like she's like it's like they didn't finish molding her face the right
Oh
way.
no.
Well, this is an interesting kind of dichotomy. Bella Ramsey says gendered categories are important in award shows,
Okay.
and recognition for women should be preserved. They also don't mind being included in actress categories, even though they are non-binary.
Well, so then are they also available for men's categories?
But she was born a female, so I think
Yes.
that's kind of her stance as I was born a female. I identify as they, but you can keep me in the female category.
What does that mean? They identify as they.
Yeah.
They don't identify with a gender at all.
But if they have a peepee, then they're a man. If they don't have a peepee, then they're a woman.
Yeah.
Can't say that.
Okay. So, but she was born a woman, but she doesn't. So she doesn't. She's saying she doesn't quite feel like she's a man. She doesn't quite feel like she's a woman.
Right.
I think so. Yes.
I feel like there should be a new word. The they just doesn't work.
That's my biggest problem is they. You can't call your singular self a group. You can't. We've been doing this for how many years?
Yeah.
Where you talk about people, you say they or them, whatever, and then now you're referring to one person. That's just bananas.
Her,
That.
hen. No, hen implies female also. Han. No, Han Solo.
Hmm.
Hin. He, her, hin. I'm a hin. No,
No.
it's gotta be something better than
Sounds
they.
like him.
Well, they used to say shim.
Yeah, but they weren't allowed. They weren't supposed to. I don't know. I just feel like it's a weird. I have enough respect for you to call you what you want to be called, but I don't feel like those are a good choice of words.
I'm not going out of my way.
But again, she's not asking to have they them awards. She's saying
Yeah.
No,
She's saying the opposite.
which is an odd thing because she is saying
she's like,
I'm a they.
But if you want to give me an award, I'll take the award.
Yeah.
I'm not going to turn down an Emmy nomination.
Well, no, like I need to be in a category. I understand that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To
Do
be
you?
voted on.
Do you?
Well, they don't have a they them. So
In life, do you need to be in a category? Apparently not. Right?
Right? Life, they
It
don't need a
depends what your
category. But
job-
awards, you need a category.
I was gonna say it depends on what your job is.
Slippery slope.
Slippery.
Listen, you're talking to a bunch of guys normally are like, yeah, we don't care. We'll call you whatever you want. Be whatever. But don't pretend it's not weird. It's weird.
I'm gonna call Bella that.
That makes more sense.
That.
I'm telling you right now, I think about this way too much. You know, we always talk about how guys are supposedly thinking about the Roman Empire, the fall of the Roman Empire.
Mhm.
I think a lot of times about Jim Norton and his man wife.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm happy for Jim Norton. He was so happy he met somebody he loved so much he got married.
Mhm.
Good for him, good for them. But I guarantee you, at some point, she uses the man voice when nobody else is around.
Sure.
Jim, give me a beer.
Mm.
Hey, Jim. Or she comes out of the shower with no makeup on, and she's an entirely different person. She's Kenny,
Yeah.
not Kenny. That's bad. I don't know. Like she just, I don't know. I mean, like if you fall in love with her as a woman, you never want to see the guy.
Well, yeah, that's the thing because my wife gets out of the shower, no makeup on or anything. We're still gonna do stuff.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
If she gets out of the shower, I'd be like, put the lady
Yeah,
face on.
who
What
are you?
Yeah.
Why are
But
you in
he
my
went-
bathroom?
But he went both ways before, right?
Yes.
Like,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
no.
No,
strictly-
he didn't go male though. He went
Trans.
trans and women. So it's
He's
So
not
he's
into
never been
dudes.
with a guy.
Oh, I
Well,
don't know.
he's been with a guy.
Yeah.
Okay, so he is bi. Or,
But she's saying like that's not trans.
Right. I don't know. I couldn't tell you his sexual history.
Right.
I don't know that he's never been with a man straight.
He wasn't.
up
Yeah, he
man.
wasn't like dating another dude.
Right.
You know.
But he's been with trans people a lot.
Right.
okay.
Which that's his thing.
Yes.
Right. So it probably does like that's probably what he likes. He probably likes having like two different
Yeah.
versions of his partner.
Yeah. He likes to probably do a lot of interesting sexual stuff too. That only that partner can do.
Right.
Interesting. I'm just wondering what it's like sometimes on a Tuesday night in the house when you don't feel like getting up and putting all your makeup on. You're like, Jim, get me a glass of water.
You don't feel like shaving.
Yeah, exactly.
If you're wondering, maybe you should try it.
Oh.
You should try what?
You know.
No, I'm not. I didn't say I'm curious to see what that would be like. I'm just wondering what it's like for them.
Right.
You said
right.
you're thinking about it all the time.
Yeah, it's like I'm really wondering what's going on there.
Yeah.
Maybe you want to try it.
I will tell you.
Get up in the mix.
I've been thinking about what starts it more is me thumbing through Instagram
Yeah.
and seeing them on Instagram, and then I look and I go, well,
I mean, you could easily answer all your questions.
yeah. I'm not. I think I could live without knowing the answer. Let's go back to The Last of Us.
I don't know if you're gonna be able to ask any questions though.
Yeah.
Why? Oh no! Come on.
How about this?
What?
The Joe Perry Project will be performing in Tampa on August 13th at the Hard Rock Event Center over at Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. Joe Perry is touring this summer with the band that includes.
This is good.
Yeah, this is
This
really
is really good.
Black Crowes singer Chris Robinson, Stone Temple Pilots members Robert DeLeo on bass and Eric Kretz on drums. and Aerosmith guitarist Brad Whitford.
That's pretty good.
That's Joe Perry project.
That's the We Still Want to Play, but Steven Can't Sing band.
Yeah.
No, because you get Chris Robinson's going to sing.
So what songs do they do?
They'll do Aerosmith songs, they'll do Black Crowes songs, and then they'll do bluesy songs that Chris Robinson can sing.
Yeah.
For sure. Right. And Joe Perry's got a solo catalog as well.
I was shocked how small Joe Perry is in person.
Yeah.
Like that. When that time he came to the studio and was on his show, blew my mind.
Yes.
I never anticipated that ever.
He was a little 80.
Yeah, he looks larger than life, like on stage,
and with his shirt off, and
he's
he's
ripped
ripped and everything.
And he was so tiny. I'm like, what is going on?
Joe Perry, I think the only person ever to smoke a cigarette in the studio during the show. I was like, I'm not going to tell him to put it out. I'm not the smoking police. Yeah, he's Joe Perry.
I felt lied to all these years when he was so small and petite.
That's wild, isn't it?
Yeah.
I had to point out, I said, I'm not the smoking police because all I heard was the king at the end. Then I wanted to take away any confusion. Joe Perry was smoking a cigarette, and years before that, I had Milton Berle smoking a cigar, and I was like, "Yeah, you're Milton Berle. Smoke away, buddy.
Of course.
Yeah, do what you got to do."
Cheech and Chong smoking something else.
I tried that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Mike Calta Show. Good morning.
Hey guys, I was calling to talk about the gender identity thing.
Yeah.
I know the new alternative.
Okay.
So me and my wife were filling out an application for like a doctor's office the other day, and we saw this come up, and we're like, "Oh, so it's Zin." That's
another
new thing, I guess.
That's a different thing.
What is that?
That's another thing.
Oh,
because that's I think it was what's her name, the singer, not Selena Gomez, the other girl,
Demi Lovato.
Demi Lovato was doing the Z-Zen or whatever.
So is Z-Zen the alter? Did you ask about it, sir, or did you just notice
it was online, like an option for the gender. So we're like, oh, I guess that's the new thing. So
I filled out an application yesterday, and they asked me, what gender were you born as? Like, that's the question now. They don't ask you what you are now. They ask you what you were born as, which I think is pretty interesting. Thank you, Zin. Appreciate the call. Mike Calta Show, good morning. So loud. So loud. Too loud.
Yeah.
There you go. Sometimes people are like, I'm just going to let them hear the inside of my truck.
Pronouns Z-Them, and gender neutral pronoun set, meaning they can be used by anyone regardless of their gender, identity, or expression.
I wonder if there's a benefit to that. Like, should I start using Zin? I don't know. Is it going to help me out in some way?
I don't know.
I do like Zin. Hello, I'm Zin.
Hello, Zin. How are you?
Isn't
nice
that
to
the
meet
thing
you.
you put in your mouth?
Yeah, they're like
nicotine
things.
Put it in your mouth.
No,
Yeah,
the nicotine patches.
Put it in,
Gross.
Put it in.
Mhm.
You know.
You know,
You've
Carmen.
been thinking about
mouth pouch.
it. You've been thinking about it.
Carmen, I'd like to put my pouch in your mouth.
Whoa.
You know what I meant. You know what I was thinking.
Roger Daltrey from The Who told a fan to shut the F up when she kept interrupting his solo show to demand that he play Pinball Wizard.
Good.
He also said, I'm fed up with that. Done it too much.
I went to see Eddie Vedder's solo show at Ruth Eckerd Hall, and it's him with an acoustic guitar, an accordion player, ukulele. You know, it's just him sitting out there on the stage. It's the most raw, emotional music you'll ever see.
Can I guess?
Please.
Play Even Flow.
Worse, it was Play Jeremy.
Ugh.
And it was some muscle-headed douchebag in jeans with white stitching on it and a Affliction shirt. And it got quiet, and he sat down, and the guy goes, "Play Jeremy!" And Eddie Vedder goes, "Jeremy, that's a good one." Just kept going.
I can't imagine being in a show and ever being that person that yells out a song request or something.
Oh, because he wanted to go, "Shut up, stupid."
Yeah.
Josh Todd from Buck Cherry, Crazy Bitch, had just come out, and it was like the biggest hit, biggest summer hit. This time we have them playing at the venue I used to work at. And the girl, crazy bitch, to the point where he stopped and he goes, "Do you think we're not going to play it?" He goes, "We're going to play it." He goes, "But we're going to play some other songs first." He goes, "Yeah, we're going to play Crazy Bitch.
We got a whole hour up here."
Yeah, it's like, start out with this and let's just go.
People are so annoying, and it's not even drunk people; it's just annoying people.
Yeah, just no idea.
Well, comedy hecklers, that really blows my mind.
I'm helping.
Yeah.
Dude, I actually heard a guy say that in the Coconut Grove Improv. I was there one year, and your boy Angel Salazar was there with this big radio and all that.
My boy.
I know you help me think of his name all the
okay.
time. And this guy next to me, this Cuban guy, was yelling. They came over and they were like, "He goes, oh no, I'm helping. I'm helping." And they're like, "You're not helping."
Yeah, that blows. I mean, unless the comic is interacting with you or
Right.
like talking to you, shut the f up.
Even that, I am the guy that they always talk to. I think I look like a non-threatening big guy.
Yeah.
So they're always like, I'll make fun of this guy. He looks like he'll play along. It happens to me all the time. Anytime I go on a cruise, and anytime I'm with my family, we go on a cruise, and they're like, let's go see the magician. It's always me they pull out of the crowd.
Yeah.
And I play along, and I just keep my mouth shut. That's the thing. I'm playing along, and I'm not even, like, half the time I'm like, I could outsmart this guy, but I'm just going to just play along and do this thing. The one guy put this apparatus on my mouth. It was like went over my head and it went in my mouth, and when he clicked the button, the jaw moved, so I was his ventriloquist dummy.
Yeah.
This is when my kids were really little, so I went up there and I did it, and the guy said something that was like sexually provocative, and I went like this, and I looked at him like I gave him the look, and he was hoping, and at the end of it, he came up to me and goes, "Thank you." And I go, I know, I got you. Don't worry about it, buddy. I was there for it.
Two things. I forget who the comedian was, but I remember watching it and somebody was yelling stuff, whatever, and he goes, "Hey, when I wrote this, I was by myself. I don't need your help." You know what I mean? It was great.
That's a good
and
line.
then also, do you remember the lady that we had in that does the podcast with Chaz Palminteri?
Yeah,
and you
Tara.
and Bobby. Yeah, Tara. When we went to the show, she asked me questions, and I'm like, "What are you asking me?" And she was like, "How long you two been married?" Whatever, and I was like, 13 years, and she's like, "He doesn't even know," and I'm like, "I just answered." I was just like, "All right, whatever, thank you." We still got a couple seconds, Carmen.
We got a minute. Got
Okay.
a whole minute.
All right, well, I'm gonna get into something else.
Give us
but
your
then-
best minute.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want
Wanna
to
wait?
Yeah, because this is an important thing that we got to talk about. This is some news that is like,
Okay, good.
Mamma mia.
All right, Carmen.
Yes.
We got the bone bonus keyword coming up in a matter of seconds. We're going to give it out, and then we'll take a break so that you'll have time to get on the Bone app, put in the bone bonus keyword, win your $1,000, and then we come back from break. We'll finish news, and Galvin still has an open letter to go to, so we got a lot going on. I want to remind everybody, tomorrow on the show, for the first time ever, Bucks general manager Jason Light is going to be joining us on the show. Will we bring up the time he blew me off?
Yeah,
You have to.
Okay. All right.
I mean,
He won't bring it up. He forgot.
did you set it up, Mike, or did Gio set it up?
Oh, come on. Come on.
Wow.
That's the real question.
Yeah.
Don't kick me while I'm down.
Yeah, Gio set it up.
Ooh.
Have you heard from Kevin Smith?
No.
I think we should just let that go.
Yeah.
Let's just forget that we love Kevin Smith.
Yes.
He put us in his movie. He's been on this show a bunch of times. We'll let him have one. We'll let him get away without doing
I think it's still happening.
it. Well,
Hold on. Let's do this.
Here we go, Bone Fam. The Bone Bonus. Presented to you by Farrah and Farrah, Tampa's accident attorneys. FarrahandFarrah.com. This hour's Bone Bonus keyword is
Vacation. This hour's keyword is vacation. VACATION. Head over to the 1025 The Bone app now and enter vacation before 30 minutes past the top of the hour, and that $1,000 bone bonus could be yours.
I feel like that was beneficial. Like some people are like, "Oh, how do you spell vacation?" Like I'm glad you spelled it out.
Oh, I'm sure, yeah. And also, anytime there's a word that could be spelled two different ways,
Sure.
I like to
How do
make
you
sure I spell
what's
it.
the other way?
No, not that.
Oh, I
I'm
was
saying
gonna say.
that if it's like night, or something like that.
Give me a little tease on what you want to get into here that we're going to need all this time for.
Well, there's a few different things.
Okay.
One is it's not going to be a very happy Chinooka.
Okay, that I want to talk about. Yeah.
And then this guy's sad, but he's still super handsome and rich and
Okay. All right.
great.
All right. We got a lot to do. Let's take a quick break. We'll come back in a couple of seconds. We'll get back into the rest of the news. Galvin still has a brand new open letter coming up this morning, and your chance to win $1,000 is happening right now as we speak.
Vacation.
Do you need to spell it again?
Nah.
It's the Mike Calta Show. We'll be back. It's 102.5 The Bone. Now, Galvin, we are in the middle of doing new news.
Oh,
News. What do we got? Where are we at?
So it's not going to be happy Chinooka for Smokey Robinson. 85-year-old Smokey Robinson and his wife, Frances, are facing sexual misconduct allegations
Francis
from 4 former housekeepers.
I love Smokey Robinson.
They claim Smokey raped them several times over the years, and his wife didn't do anything to stop it.
Well, why did they keep going back? My cleaning ladies, I ask them, I go, excuse me, and they go, ooh, they jump. They go, I go, hi, how you doing? I just want to get past you there. I don't think that they would come back if I hit them or I raped them.
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe we'll try it this week. We'll see.
Oh.
Kidding. I'm not going to hit them.
Yeah, but so Smokey, 85.
Listen to Smokey's voice. He's so gentle.
I don't care if they start to avoid me.
I can't even guess on whether or not this is true because I have no idea about. I mean, none of us have any idea.
And are they saying this is recent?
No, over the years.
It says that 4 former housekeepers claim that Smokey raped them several times over the years, and the wife didn't do anything to stop it. Like she apparently was aware of it.
Well, that's just Smokey. He's raping again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I have no idea. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense to me. But I'm not saying it's not true.
I feel like the plastic surgery on his face raped my eyes.
Oh, how dare you? That's Smokey Robinson.
No.
His face has to be as beautiful as his voice.
You want to talk about tight? It's like really
tight. It's
pulled
tight.
back.
Do you think they were like, are you and Smokey coming over? And she's like, well, he's raping the housekeeper right now. But as soon as he's done with that, we'll be right over.
I mean, you say that's crazy, but Arnold Schwarzenegger was having sex with his housekeeper.
Yeah.
I would totally have sex with my housekeepers if they gave me the opportunity. But I'm not raping anybody.
But that's also it, too, is the opportunity of it.
Yeah. And I don't mean these ladies. I mean Soph when she was covering the feet.
Schwarzenegger's housekeeper, not attractive.
But that's the thing.
No.
It's just there.
Yeah.
And
he knocked her up.
By the way, also not raping her. He didn't rape her. That was consensual.
Yeah.
But he had sex with that ugly ass housekeeper and now has to be and he's a father to that son.
Yeah. Right, exactly. I think that's what really gave it away is because the son was just giant. Well,
that was why. That was how they figured it out.
Did you do? And he's like, no. And the kid's like, I don't know who my father is.
That's how she found out. The lady would bring the kid around, and Shriver looked at him and said, "I got to ask." He looked, and she just started crying.
Yeah, weren't you at one point an investigative journalist?
Right. I'm telling you right now, that is a weird situation. If you're Arnold and she starts showing up with that kid, and you're like, oh
yeah.
Hey Arnold, the housekeeper's son just lifted my car. Can we have a talk about
Bam Bam
who the father is?
That is such a weird situation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. We don't know anything about.
But also,
Smokey
that's like what's his name? From Bush.
Oh, Gavin Rosdale.
I don't know what that housekeeper looked like.
It was the nanny, and she was super hot.
Was she hotter than Gwen?
She was hot.
She was hot.
Okay.
She was one of.
I mean, Gwen Stefani's up there, you know.
But
what
it
I mean?
also, what my point is though, is they don't necessarily have to be hot. And obviously, Smokey's if this is true, he's raping them, and that's terrible.
86 years old,
but 85. But
So that's why I asked when.
Arnold is having consensual sex with the lady, whatever, and she was not good looking.
No.
But Arnold was just like, she's around.
I'll do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. She's around. And you're Arnold Schwarzenegger, so you can't be like showing up at nightclubs to pick up chicks.
Here's the crazy thing, though, is so you're Arnold, and you're gonna do this with the housekeeper. Bad enough, you don't at least put a condom on.
Well, it's probably not planned out,
Yeah.
Well, you could do other stuff,
The other thing I think about is, and I say this, I'm very good friends with Soph, and Soph's boyfriend is Mike Olivero.
Yeah.
So that's why I can make a lot of these jokes.
Mm-hmm.
But when Soph was here,
mm-hmm.
and if Soph bent over to pick something up, and I was like, now's my chance, and I went over there and I was like, hey, Soph, what's up? Forget the fact that I'm married and that, what if she just jumps up and was like, what did you just do? I'm calling the cops. You know what I mean? Like, how come Arnold never worried about that? Or Smokey or any of these people? Like, I would be like, just making a move.
Well, for Arnold, like they said, it was consensual. So he
but he had to make the move first.
How do you know? She may have.
Right.
Yeah, maybe.
She may have, well, what if I clean this?
All right, Soph, it's your move. I don't know. I mean, Smokey Robinson, this seems to me to be, there's too many things that make you go, well, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense.
But stranger things happen.
Sure, I'm not saying
you
it's
have no
not
idea.
true. I don't know, but I mean, the guy's 85 years old. Carmen, even if it happened 10 years ago, he'd be 75 years old. You know what I mean? And it's 4 ladies. 4 ladies can't beat off. Well, clearly they can.
All right.
Four ladies can't beat off an 85-year-old man.
Well, it
and,
wasn't like he raped
Did it?
him.
Yeah.
But if he was raping them one at a time, why do they keep going back to the house? They're like, Shirley, you're the only one who hasn't been raped yet.
Who knows?
It's your
Who
week,
knows what
Shirley.
their situation
Right.
is? Who knows whether
What if
he's
they're
controlling
illegal?
them, whether they're illegal, whether they need that money, whether who knows what? I have no idea.
I'm not saying it's not possible. It just seems far fetched.
Yeah.
Also, for a lovely soul like Smokey Robinson to
We'll
be dragged
see.
through the mud.
I guess we'll hear more and figure it out from there. But
Smokey Robinson been on this show before.
Yes.
We should do a death pool and a crime pool.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, former guests of the show who've been in trouble for things.
Not a bad idea.
Who do you think's the biggest criminal?
On the show?
Yeah, that did the worst thing.
Spanish.
Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Mike Tyson.
Oh no, we had
X-Pac was worse than Mike Tyson.
Tyson went to prison for rape.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Not necessarily a celebrity, but we did have that John, what's his name, who was a button man. Like he was
Johnny Alite,
Yeah.
and then we had Kenny Urell on, who is from the New York City cop. And we've had a lot of guys who've gone to jail before.
Any murderers?
done some stuff.
Well, we've had
Johnny-
murderers on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Let's not talk about this anymore. I feel like we're getting people in trouble right now.
Wolfgang Van Halen used his father's Frankenstrat guitar for parts of Mammoth's new single, The End. The video is a mini remake of the 1996 vampire movie From Dusk Till Dawn.
What is?
They did for the video. They did
their
a
video.
takeoff of From Dusk Till Dawn.
Yeah,
I
so
saw the video of him tapping out on the Frankenstein.
Yeah.
He must have all of his dad's guitars then,
He
I'm
does,
assuming.
yeah. But it's interesting because Eddie gave away a lot of guitars. He gave people guitars like all the time. I know that Dimebag was a huge Eddie fan, and they were friends and stuff. And they were talking about he had a replica of his black and yellow guitar that Eddie had. And they said that they were going to bury him with it, and Eddie gave him the real guitar.
Oh, really?
Yeah, yeah, which was wild.
That's crazy.
He's buried with that. The surviving members of Soundgarden are basking in their recent election into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. A notable project continues to linger unfinished. Their final album with late lead singer Chris Cornell. I just got hit in the forehead.
You hear this?
Yeah.
That's him trying to hit a fly.
It flew up my nose.
Soundgarden does not get into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame if Chris Cornell's not dead.
They're
not,
already
not yet.
They're getting in.
No, I know. I'm saying if Chris Cornell hadn't died, they don't even get.
Yeah.
acknowledged.
I see what you're saying. I don't know.
Yeah,
There's no
I
way.
think so.
Not now.
You think that was a little booster there?
Yep, for
that
sure.
he's dead and stuff. Well, for years, the LP remained in rock purgatory. In 2019 and 2020, Soundgarden and Vicky Cornell, Chris's widow, exchanged lawsuits. Vicky claimed the surviving members were cutting her out of Chris's royalty payments, while the band claimed Vicky used funds raised during a 2019 tribute concert for personal means. Soundgarden still plans to release its final album with Chris Cornell.
Well, I mean, it's probably going to sound like whatever era it was from. So
I feel like there was some Chris Cornell song that got released after he died. It was not good.
I don't know. I know
Did it come out or
his
something?
daughter was doing some stuff, whatever. But here's the thing about Soundgarden is they never really sounded like an era to me. You know what I mean? They were always
I
kind of
think
different.
they sound very much like 90s rock.
Well, the hits like Black Hole Sun and that type of stuff, but Black Hole Sun also kind of shaped that, where people were like, "That's great, let's play stuff like that, whatever." But if you listen to like Bad Motorfinger, that's just as good today.
Yeah,
as
but
it
if
is-
you, Black Hole Sun and those sort of whiny rock songs are very much like what Smashing Pumpkins were doing then, and those kind of droney grunge bands. And I think, in my opinion, I mean, it's obviously you may feel differently. That's just what I go back to immediately when I hear it, and I like Soundgarden a lot. I just don't think that. I don't know that they're Rock and Roll Hall of Fame worthy, and I think Chris Cornell doesn't die in a tragic way. They don't get acknowledged like they are now.
Man, Black Hole Sun is a problem because it was so overplayed.
Oh my god,
it's a great song on its own, but it was so overplayed that you got sick of it and you're like, oh, geez, it's enough of the song. And I hated the video. But if you take that song and you break it down, that's a great song. And I remember Dave Grohl talking about it, that he was hanging out with the guys from Soundgarden, and they're like, hey, you want to hear new stuff that we're working on, and he was like, yeah, and they played him Black Hole Sun. And he was like, Jesus. He goes, I don't know what we're doing, but it's not that, you know. Tom Brady was on with Logan Paul on his podcast.
That alone makes me want to vomit right now. Just that phrase alone.
Logan Paul's huge.
I know he is, but it bothers me.
I described his controversial Netflix roast last year as a effed up as a parent because of the impact that it had on his children.
Maybe as a parent, don't let your kids watch it.
Yeah.
That seems to me. He's got little kids. They don't have to watch a roast.
But also, it was everywhere.
Yeah.
It's all over the internet.
They were gonna see it for sure.
His kids are all teenagers.
That's
it's
true.
You know.
Here is Tom Brady talking about the Netflix roast with Logan Paul.
Do you regret doing the roast of Tom Brady?
I regret that my kids had to it's tough on my kids for sure. And like I said earlier, I don't take myself too serious. So, but I do understand, for my kids, that was really hard. And I didn't realize, there's some things as a parent you up and you don't realize until after, and you just, we're not perfect parents. And you'll see as you grow up, there's no perfect manual for it. And you got to evaluate yourself as a parent too all the time. So even though I really enjoyed the show and the performances were incredible. And when you were in that moment in that theater that night at the Forum, it was electric.
Yeah.
It was crazy. We got done. Everybody was on cloud nine. And I think that moment I'll never forget, and then I'll never forget when I talked to my kids the next day.
Oh man.
And I was I felt a stake through the heart, understandably.
Well, I mean, he's not being a dick about it. He's liked it. He had a good time.
I'm sure anything that was divorce or about their mom is what really probably didn't go over well.
Who did the worst thing? Him doing the roast or her banging the jiu-jitsu guy and getting pregnant?
Yeah.
But
for the kids, they're the ones that's the toughest situation to be in.
But also probably awkward to hear Nikki Glaser talk about all the stuff she wants to do with it's gross. That's my dad.
Because they're super famous, but from a kid's perspective, that's still their mom and dad who are going through a massive divorce.
Yeah, I don't know. My parents are divorced, but they divorced when I was so young. I don't even know. I don't really care or remember about it, so I don't think it was a big deal.
His kids are teenager age.
Yeah, I guess that's got to be pretty rough.
And it's everywhere.
My parents weren't married very long, and they didn't like each other. So if your parents were in love and all of a sudden not in love anymore, that was probably a bigger deal.
It's bad enough mom and dad are fighting and divorcing and upending our lives. Now it's all over the internet.
Yeah.
Are you still watching Four Seasons?
Yeah, I haven't.
What'd you get up to?
I think I'm up to. Well, do you want me to? The renewal.
Oh,
yeah, I'm right at the beginning.
It gets so much better.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah,
it gets so much better.
It's good. It's good
about to start getting great.
Okay, good. Yeah. This is not going to be great. The families of Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi are planning a Blues Brother universe.
Stop! Come on.
That'll include TV shows, movies, music, and live events. They're kicking it off with a graphic novel.
Blues Brothers died with John Belushi. Yeah. It's over.
It is over.
I love the original Blues Brothers movie.
Me too.
I watch it all the time. I love that movie.
And it's so you look at that movie and you try to think of what that pitch meeting was like.
Yeah.
Did you hear Lorne Michaels talk about it on the 50th celebration about the Blues Brothers?
I did not.
He said that they kept pitching him the Blues Brothers where they would sing and dance and he kept blowing it off. And he said at one show they came up 5 minutes short. And he said, let us do the Blues Brothers. And Lorne Michaels said, if you want to make buffoons out of yourself for 5 minutes on television, go ahead.
Yeah.
And they went and did it, and it was such a big hit.
It just goes to show you a guy who created that show and who's been running it for so long and is so successful and everything still doesn't know what's going to work.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You never know. You never know what's going to work and stuff. But also, the most embarrassing thing I think out of any of that is Jim Belushi. Because if they came to me afterwards and said, your brother died, but we're going to do this, I'd go, no, I'm not doing that.
I don't mind when they do the performances, the live performances as the Blues Brothers.
Because they all got the dances down.
Yeah,
and all that.
But any movies or shows or books or Blues Brothers 2000 outside of the original movie, to me is horrible. And it's just ruining what it is.
But we're going to bring in a kid.
No,
and the kid will be one of the Blues Brothers.
Bad.
So, Mr. Aykroyd, Mr. Belushi, welcome to the pitch meeting. What do you have for us today? My brother and I are orphans.
Yeah.
And then we go. I mean, it's just such a wild pitch.
I wish Aykroyd would like protect that franchise more.
I know.
And hold,
but he's not. He milks everything.
Yeah,
He milks everything.
like I said, that original movie is probably one of my favorites. It's
Even
so
John
good.
Goodman being involved is embarrassing.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
I mean, it's
as well.
so good.
David Spade actually had just talked about how they came to him with Tommy Boy 2.
Oh, yeah, I heard
They
that.
wanted to do Tommy Boy 2, and they were going to do the kids of Spade and Farley would be and he was like, no, not doing that.
He's on with Theo this week. It's really funny.
Remember, he did that movie with Artie Lang where they dyed Artie's hair blonde, so he kind of looks like Farley.
Yeah,
that was bad.
That was weird.
Yeah,
Lost and Found.
I don't
Yeah,
remember.
Lost and Found was that. So David Spade and Theo Von wrote a movie together, Bus Boys, where they're busboys, they're just losers and they're busboys, and there's a waiter that is like cool, and they're like, if we could become waiters, that would make that right there just makes me laugh. Yeah, that their goal is to become waiters when they're busboys. It already sounds funny.
I don't know. There's anybody that makes me laugh more right now than Theo Von and Shane Gillis.
Yeah,
Theo, and he's when he's just talking is so funny.
So funny.
Yeah, because I only think I've seen a little bit of his stand up, but just him talking is hilarious. Yeah,
he was on with like you said, just with Spade, and I was listening to the podcast, and David Spade's like, man, he tells Theo, he's like, you're making tons of money right now, man. You're doing everything. And Theo goes, what are you talking about, dude? You told me you just bought a car. Like just random rich guys. He's like, you just bought a car. And he's like, you just bought an entire car lot.
He said, David Spade was saying when they were filming the movie that they would be waiting, and they were like, it was a scene where they were in the car and they were talking, and he goes, and just the stuff that Theo says, he's like, could we just roll that? Like, we got to be able to figure out how to put this in the movie. Because he said something about getting long johns. And about if I get married, I'm going to get some long johns. And he's like, why? And he goes, because once I'm married, I forget what the thing was, but David Spade was like, it's so weird, but so funny.
They're talking about Chris Farley, and that's when the Tommy Boy 2 conversation happens. And then Spade mentions that when the Coneheads movie came out, that they made everybody from the cast be in the Coneheads movie.
Yeah.
And then Theo Von, like, genuinely asked the question. He's like, did you get to keep the cone from being in the movie? Just random stuff like that. That's his genuine question from that whole conversation is, did you get to keep the cone?
When his last stand-up special came out, everybody was crapping on it. I thought it was fantastic. I think if you like Theo, it's funny. It's funny.
Yeah, he's great.
You still watching the Baldwins? Alec and
if I see it on, I'll watch it, but I don't even know what at night it comes on.
So there was the whole thing about she's not even Spanish and all this, and she talks with an accent and everything. Hilaria Baldwin blames ADHD for the fact that she fluctuates between English and Spanish.
I mean, there's something to be said for that, but also, if you grow up in a household like my old girlfriend was Cuban, and her mother would go. That's how I know so much Spanish, because she would go from English to Spanish. She would just talk, and then next sentence would be in Spanish.
Remember when Madonna had the English accent?
Yeah,
just because she married Guy Ritchie.
That was awful.
So weird.
Somebody emailed me, and they pointed out as far as the they them.
Yeah,
there's a universal word already that Album's going to say, and everybody's going to go, yeah, Pat.
Yep,
Pat was it.
Yeah,
Pat was it.
Yeah,
Pat nailed it.
You made me. Oh, Madonna. They just had the Met Gala, where everybody dresses like an idiot and does all that stuff. And they were showing clips, and I don't know whether this was from this one or not, but it was Madonna, and she was like in a suit, and she has a cigar, and I was just like, could you just stop? Could you just stop?
My favorites were the Madonna one. Then there was the Andre 3000 has got a piano on his back. And then Cardi B came in, and she had a bunch of people blocking her with umbrellas, so you couldn't even see what she was wearing.
That was I saw that. That was kind of funny.
Yeah.
You see Will Smith's kid had like some wire thing like, on his face.
Look how crazy
we are.
Kanye West stormed out of a dramatic interview with Piers Morgan after just 2 minutes of questioning, with the broadcaster branding the rappers as a big baby over his behavior. After making headlines with a string of social media tirades, Kanye sat down to speak with Piers in his YouTube show, Uncensored, but he confirmed on X that the interview did not go well.
No, well, I mean... So when you get somebody like that, like Kanye West, we all want to call him, we all want to call him an idiot and say he's a Nazi and all this stuff and all that. But if you bring him in the studio and you want to interview him, you can't do that right away. You got to baby him up, unless you're doing like we did to Rappaport, where we just attack him right out of the gate. You got to got to butter them up a little bit. You got to let them get used. Like, start talking off the air about the Jews, man. Like, I kind of, I can't say this on the air, but I kind of get what you're saying. You know,
like whoever interviewed him, and he was like, "All right, well, hang on." Then he came back wearing the black KKK outfit. You don't go, dude. You can't wear that.
Yeah.
You go, all right, you ready to go?
yeah. I mean, like, you just act like everything's normal.
Yeah,
you got to know how to. You got to know how to milk those things. So Pierce Morgan just does YouTube.
I guess, yeah.
I have to tell you, I'm so I'm learning about all of these things now. I mean, Joe successfully puts us on YouTube every day and has for some time. Now we're going to be pretty soon. We'll be available on Rumble. You know what Rumble is?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to be on Rumble. We're going to be on what is the other ones, Joe? Tumblr,
Zip Zoink.
No, Zip Zoink, definitely.
Zip Zoink doesn't do any media.
No.
Oh,
yeah. I'm just saying, it's like there's so many different outlets out there, and instead of just picking one to be on, we're going to be on all of them. So you'll be able to find the show everywhere.
We'll be on Roku.
We may be on Roku. I don't know if you can get Rumble on Roku.
Crackle.
Funny or Die.
There's so many different ones. Finally, in news, a new poll says only 11% of people say they have hitchhiked. Have you ever hitchhiked?
I have picked up hitchhikers.
Really?
But I have not hitchhiked.
You are a creep. Did you pick up a guy or a girl?
Both.
Really?
Yeah. Part of me, Galvin, feels like I've been in really bad situations before.
Mm-hmm.
I've picked up a couple of guys that I could tell ran out of gas. Like carrying a can, or I could see the car and then they're walking on a highway before that. I did pick up one guy one time coming off of the Veterans. His car was parked there and then he was walking. And it was like a Sunday afternoon. And I pulled over and I go, "Hey, did you run out of gas?" He's like, "Yeah." I go, "Hey, no problem. Get in. I'll give you a ride." Yeah. "Oh, you sure?" Yeah. Got in the car there and I was like, "Yeah, that sucks." And then once we got in the car and I was like trying to make small talk, he just stayed silent the whole time. And I was like, "Okay, where do you want to go?" And he's like, and he just point and I'd go, "Okay." And I got really weird and I'm like, I don't know what to do. I did pick up an elderly woman one time.
Did he notice you had your wiener out?
I did not have my wiener out. I did not. Not that he could see. I did pick up an elderly woman one time on 54. When Joey was little, he was in a car seat. But she had to be like 75 years old. And she was walking along the street. And she had an IV hanging out of her arm.
Oh, my God.
And I thought she was going to be like a mental lady, that she was crazy. And she stopped and she bent down like she was going to fall. And I rolled down the window. I go, "Are you okay?" And she was all out of breath. I go, "Do you need a ride somewhere?" And she's like, "Yes, please." And she got in the car and I had the air conditioning on. So she kind of like calmed down a little bit. And we were driving and Joey's a baby and he's in the back. You know what I mean? And I'm like, but I felt bad. I thought this woman was going to die. And then she wanted to go to Wesley Chapel, and I'm like, "I'll take you to the gas station. You can call." I took her to the gas station. I just dropped her off there.
Yeah, a couple things. One is, she escaped, and now we assume that you kidnapped her or whatever.
Right.
But also, like, the guy gets in, he's not talking because he's dying. Somebody else stabbed him, and then he dies in your car.
Yeah.
Like, I think of those situations all the time.
I know.
So I'm just like, hey, I'll call the cops for you, you know? Or did you run out of gas? Yeah, I got a gas can. Can you take me up? No, I'll take the gas can,
but
fill it up.
You know how many
and
times Galvin and I've run out of gas? You know what I mean? So I feel bad for other people. That's why I'm always like, trying to help out. But you're right. I told my wife I picked up that old lady one time. She was so mad at me because I had Joey in the car.
Yeah, stab, and then I eat your baby.
She was like 75 years old.
Who knows? She takes it off and it's Lecter. You know, takes off the mask.
But yeah, I have not picked up any hot girls. I would if I saw a hot girl hitchhiking for sure.
11% of people say they have hitchhiked and would do it again. Around 73% claim that they have never hitchhiked.
It seems like if you take the murder out of it, it's not a bad idea. Like, I got to go to Tampa. Oh, I'm going to Tampa. I'll give you a ride. I mean, what's the difference?
Yeah,
it's like free Uber.
But just the old-fashioned thumb out that's not a thing anymore.
But if it was, like if we made it more normal, like, hey, if you're on the Veterans and you're going to Tampa, just hitchhike. If somebody's going to Tampa, they'll give you a ride. But I would pick up a stranger and I have a conversation with them, drop them off. But you got to worry about getting stabbed the whole time.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? Yeah, girls got to worry about getting raped. Guys got to worry about getting stabbed.
Carmen, did you hitchhike?
That's a yes.
No, man.
I have, but it was only like a mile to the beach. Like, I was walking to the beach and there was this old couple leaving their house because I found
the Robinsons, Smokey and his wife.
Well, I just found like a back street to park on, right? And I was walking and this these people drove by and they're like, "Do you know where you're going?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to the beach. Couldn't find parking." And they're like, "Oh, okay. Do you want to ride?" And I was like, "Yeah." But I also was not by myself.
Mm.
You know what I mean? But I have jumped in plenty of strangers' cars.
Whoa. It says hitchhiking is partially prohibited in Florida. I was wondering whether it was legal or not. Specifically, it is illegal to stand in the portion of the roadway paved for vehicular traffic for the purpose of soliciting a ride. However, Florida law does not generally prohibit hitchhiking on non-paved areas such as shoulders. That's according to the Attorney General's opinion.
If I could pick up Margot Qualley like Brad Pitt did in the Hollywood movie, my God, she's so hot.
By the way, she was supposed to be 15 in that movie, just so you know.
Well, now you ruined it.
Well, I'm just letting you know.
How do you know?
She says, "Are you something whatever because I'm only 15 or whatever?" She says in the movie, or 17. She's underage.
Well, that's 17 and 15 are a big deal.
But they're both underage.
All right, but 17 is worth the risk.
Both underage.
She says what she'll do, and then she goes,
Yeah.
Are you worried because I'm whatever age?"
Oh,
yeah.
Well, I don't remember that.
Yeah. Well,
maybe I blocked that out of my mind.
Probably. Well, there you go. That is it for news.
All right, Galvin, thank you very much. If you'd like to get through the show, 800-771-1025 are the phone numbers to reach us. Like this person. Good morning. Oh, I just missed it. All right. Another opportunity to win $1,000 is coming up at 10 o'clock. Galvin's got a brand new open letter. We're going to take a quick break and come back and do that. But before we go to break, I want to tell you about my friends at Super Heat and Air. So cold in this house. I listen to the guy do weather from Fox 13 every day. And what does he say? Every day it's the same thing. Hot and humid out today, and it's only going to get hotter and more humid as the time goes on. If your AC is not cranking and making your house as cold as it is mine, you need to go to Super Heat and Air. If you go to superheatandair.com, you could schedule it right there online and have them come on out and get your home all ready for summer. They'll come out and do a $49 tune-up for you and make sure your AC is pumping hard. A lot of times, if you think your AC isn't blowing and maybe there's a problem and you're like, oh, we might need a new machine, you may not. You just may need a tune-up. So have them come out and do a $49 tune-up for you from superheatandair.com. And know now that superheatandair.com also does plumbing. So they are available for all of your plumbing needs, whether it's in the bathroom or in your kitchen or somewhere in the hot water area. You need plumbing, or you need an emergency. You have a leak somewhere and you need them to come out in the middle of the night. They do that as well. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for all your heating, cooling, and for your plumbing. Superheatandair.com. Tell them you heard about it on the Mike Calta Show. We'll take a quick break, and a brand new open letter is next on 102.5 The Bone. Couple of things. We just had a story about bears killing people that were jogging.
Killed a guy and his dog, and they're saying bear or bears.
Now in Lake Wales, Florida, a kayaker died Tuesday after being attacked by an alligator at Lake Kissimmee State Park.
Well,
listen, I'm not mad at the alligator, but that is for me why I could never go kayaking in a lake.
And that's the rule of thumb in Florida. If there's water, there's a gator in it, probably. Right. So you have to be aware of that, and you have to, go accordingly.
But they constantly show all these videos of like gators in the water and kayakers hitting them with the paddle or just pushing them away and grabbing them by their tail and moving them, and everybody's looking. But now here.
Is Jovan, Jovan that works in promotions and stuff, is he just a gator wrangler now, or what is going on?
I don't know why. What do you got?
You didn't see? He was like, no. Did you guys see my dog? And it's him with the gator, and the gator's mouth's wrapped up and this and that. And I think it was like the second video of him with gators. I don't know what he's doing out there.
He does a lot of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He
does like gun training. He does wildlife. He hangs banners. He can do it all.
He can do it all, yeah. I guess so.
He can really, really, really do it all.
And I saw him at the country concert with Christina. They were singing to the country song. I'm like, he didn't look like a country music kind of guy to me.
And he's a singer.
Yeah. I don't know. I didn't see it. I don't trust gators. I don't. They're giant dinosaurs. The other day I was watching the news and somebody sent in video of a gator just crossing the path at a golf course, and I'm like, those are just dinosaurs. They're leftover dinosaurs.
What was the one? Was it King? Was the one?
King was the one by my house.
Yeah, that used to be in your old neighborhood. That was huge.
King, they said, was probably like 40 years old. It was probably about 10 feet long. And when I saw it, I had a panic attack. I thought it was a statue, and I'm like, why would they put a statue so close to the road? And then it started walking, and I went, oh my god, oh my god. I remember being in my car going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I was really having a panic attack, and it just slowly walked across the street.
That's wild.
And they said it only comes out of the water during mating season to cross the other side, and then it goes back in the water.
There was one that was under the truck of my neighbor's at my neighbor's house in
Yeah,
the driveway.
that's scary.
Yeah, because I've got a small dog. It would eat my dog in 2 seconds.
We had a guy on the air one time that found he said he went out to leave for work in the morning and he saw his daughter's car and the gator tail was by the daughter's tire and he thought that she had ripped the rubber off the tire.
Yeah.
And he bent down to see what it was and the tail moved. So it was a gator.
I've seen, obviously Florida, we have gators, but Canada, moose. There was a guy who walked out his front door with his dog, and the dog's going to the bathroom and stuff, and this big giant moose comes running up. He's like, come on.
Yeah.
Go back inside because they don't play.
Yeah,
They're
they're aggressive, aren't they? And they're huge.
They're huge. Yeah, as big as you think they are, they're bigger.
Oh, that makes me so nervous. Mike Calta Show, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
Hi. I had a story that I thought was kind of funny. It reminded me of you when you were telling me about the hitchhiking.
Uh-huh.
I had, back in the 70s, I had moved out to Colorado, and we lived in Colorado Springs, and there was a concert coming up in Denver for Rod Stewart. So myself and 4 friends went, all girls and 1 guy, and I had an old Chevy Nova, and we're driving on the interstate, and we get about halfway there, and I get a flat tire. Of course, we had to change that. Well, because of that, we were running so late that when we got there, couldn't find parking anywhere. And I said, well, you know what? Let's just park at this Denny's parking lot. Nothing could go wrong, right? Well, after the concert, it's about midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, and my car has been towed. So couldn't get it that night. So we had to hitchhike back from Denver to Colorado Springs, which is about 65 miles.
All of you, like all 4 of you or so.
Yeah, there was, I think, 5 of us all
5
together.
Okay.
So we're on the interstate. We're hitchhiking back. I mean, we're not going to walk 60 miles. And we get stopped by a state trooper. Now, mind you, we're on the interstate. That's illegal to be on an interstate hitchhiking. I think it was okay on any other road.
Right.
But I'm like, well, what are we supposed to do? He says, well, just stay at the exit here, coming up here, which is a little up the way. And he said, you'll be at least safer there. He goes, but please stay off the interstate. So he said, but before I leave, I need everybody's ID. Well, we all had ID except for the young man that was with us. And I didn't really know him. It was a friend of one of the other people I was with. So he asked him his name, and he says, I have no ID. His name is James. That's all I knew. So the officer asked him, and the state trooper asked him what your name is. James Bond. Well, he thought he was real smarty and said, you know what is your name? He goes, it is. It's James Bond. So we spent about a half an hour getting through that. We were told to sit down on the interstate until he got it cleared. Finally got it cleared. He leaves. We end up hitchhiking some more. We just kept walking. We're like, what are we going to do? We get picked up by a truck. Not any old truck, but a chicken truck. And it must have had 50 chickens on that truck, just squawking away. Feathers are flying, but we really didn't have much of a choice. So for 50 miles, we rode with this chicken truck.
In the back with the chickens?
The next morning, yeah, in the back with the chickens.
Yeah.
But it was fun. I was like 17, 18 years old. It wasn't so bad. But the next day, I had to get my car, so I had to hitchhike all the way back to Denver.
Jeez.
I don't know why I thought this was okay to do.
Yeah.
But an elderly man, probably in his late 80s, early 90s, picks me up in a really nice old car. I don't know, maybe it's a Packard or something. It was just really nice. And he was out for a Sunday morning cruise. So I heard his whole life story the whole way there. But he took me all the way there. So,
well, that was nice. At least
memories,
that's 2 trips you didn't get raped on. That's not so bad.
I know.
You did
right?
have to sit with the chickens.
Exactly.
My question is, when the cop asked that guy his name, how does he not go Bond? James Bond.
Right, yeah.
If you got it, you got to use it. Thank you, Pumpkin. If you got the name, you got to say it the right way. Mike Calta Show, hello.
Hey, Mike Calta, your man, Mr. Elizabeth.
Nope, too early for you. Mike Calta Show, hello.
Hey, good morning. You guys were talking about animals killing people in Florida. Have you guys seen that the FWC recently modified their range map for the crocodile? It includes now all of Pinellas County and wraps all the way around the state to the same spot on the other side of the state. Those things are coming for us.
Crocodiles? Is that what you said?
Yeah, American crocodiles
Oh,
are
boy.
everywhere in South Florida. Like if you're going to the Keys and you stop at boat ramps and stuff along the way down the Everglades, there's a lot of them. But now the range map includes all of Pinellas County.
Oh, see, be on the lookout. If you're going into any water, I would be so afraid. And the crocodiles hang out in the brackish water too. So the most vicious thing I've ever seen is I went on a cruise one time, and one of the excursions we did was a Jeep tour.
Yeah.
And we took the Jeeps out, and it was different, like little nature things. But they took us out on this bridge. It was like a pier. It just went out into the water, and you walked all the way to the end of the pier, and there was nothing out there. And all of a sudden, you could see the waves start rippling a little, and you go, like, okay, what did they do here? I don't know. The waves started getting bigger and bigger, and they weren't waves. They were just a mass of crocodiles coming towards the way, and they just threw chicken out into the water. So the crocodiles knew when the people there was feeding time. And I have never seen a reptile that big just launch out of the water, like jump. I mean, it was the most frightening thing ever because it's such a feeding frenzy that if you dropped anything over the side, it was going. Baby, cell phone, person, you were gone.
I think they do that at the Gatorland over there outside of Orlando.
Oh,
with
that's scary to watch.
Chicken and stuff.
And they just jump right out of the water. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is time to check in with Galvin. He has a brand new open letter.
And now, an open letter from Galvin.
This is an open letter to celebrity. Dear celebrity, seriously, there are a lot of celebrities out there, and there are even more people that want to be a celebrity. You see them all the time posting super cringy stuff to social media to become the next Huck Tua girl or the We Bring the Boom guys. Quick side note, you're not. You're never going to become that famous. You have a better chance of getting struck by lightning twice. The Cake Boss is a celebrity. He's recognizable to most people, except Joe. Isn't that right, El Chapo? But Cake Boss was arrested again the other day for another DWI, and he said to the police, quote, "You can't arrest me. I'm a Cake Boss." Oof. How dumb did he feel when those handcuffs clamped around his wrists? The only thing worse than saying who you are is asking, do you know who I am? Nope. I will tell you that Bert and Tom's Two Bears 5K, there were a lot of famous celebrities there. Very famous singer, Jelly Roll, Super Bowl champion, Jason Kelsey, Bert and Tom, some Buccaneers, and many others. We were there. We're not famous or celebrities. We're known in Tampa Bay, and that's awesome. But there were people that thought they were famous, and they weren't. If my nephew and my grandma know who you are, you're famous. Just because you're around famous people doesn't make you famous. It's kind of like Gayle King. You know, she went up to space, and now she's going around and telling everyone that she's an astronaut just because a billionaire let her go to space with his girlfriend in a spaceship. There's more to it, like a lot of school, training, and degrees. I was on the field at Raymond James Stadium on Sunday. I'm not walking around telling everyone that I'm a Buccaneer now. That's not how it works. Just because you had sex with a dude and he recorded it on his phone doesn't make you a porn star, no matter how many times your stepbrother tells you it does. I'm Galvin from the Mike Calta Show, and this has been an open letter to celebrity.
You know what I want to know? Who were the people who thought they were celebrities?
There were a lot.
People that had their shirt off with short shorts.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
there was a lot of that.
Oh boy.
Like, oh, I'm Bert too.
Yeah.
There's a lot of look at me's. You see what Fisher was wearing?
No.
Fisher wore one of those stupid shirts. It looks like you're not wearing a shirt.
Oh,
like it had a hairy chest on it.
Oh
yeah.
No. I'm gonna wear it. It'll be hilarious.
Yeah.
People will love it.
There was the guy that was in the Speedo.
Yeah. I don't
know who the hell he was.
There was certainly a lot of people trying to draw the attention to themselves.
Right. There were a lot of those.
I think that guy was like a local comic.
I want to know who the lady with the giant boobs was.
Oh.
What her situation is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, she had big fat. She had like you can't sink her boobs.
She had cartoon boobs.
Yeah.
Like they were comically big.
Like they weren't sexy.
No.
No. It was like she can only do porn. That's the only thing she's doing.
And it has to be uncomfortable.
I would assume,
Right,
Carmen,
like how do you sleep?
Yeah.
On your back.
Yeah, I just imagine because even Monica was like, "You ran with those things."
She didn't run. Did she run?
I don't think she did.
No.
Because she was talking about me, and I just have natural.
Oh,
boobs.
you ran with yours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, I have to like double sports bra it up for it to be comfortable because otherwise,
Same. Oh, yeah, maybe do it. Yeah.
We're the same.
Where like hers, like I can't imagine you can do anything like cardio wise.
Yeah.
Without just.
I don't know. They don't look like they move.
Yeah.
She looked like she had two rocks on her chest.
But that's your gimmick because I mean, that's why you're getting attention.
It's weird because I was not attracted to her, but I could not stop looking at her. You know what I mean? Like,
But that's what it is. That's what those are for.
I enjoyed watching my son's reaction because I don't think he's ever seen anything in person like that in his entire life.
Oh, I was talking to Bootleg Kevin. He was like, "Yeah, so down in L.A." And all of a sudden, he just goes, "Down in L.A., look at the size of them." And he just said, he goes, "Man, that just caught my eye." I go, "Yeah, it's caught everybody's eye."
My son we walk by that woman, and he comes back. He goes, "What is the story there?" Do you know her?
I always point and go, "Joe, that girl wants to."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so funny. I wonder what they say to each other. My son wants to have no part of those jokes with me. I guess because it's uncomfortable. It's weird. I was driving one time when he was probably like 15, and I got some sort of text or something from Pete. I wanted to say it was somebody with tremendous boobs like that or something, and I go, "I want to show you this, but I'm not sure if you're ready for it." And he looked at me and goes, "Don't." And I go, "Okay, I won't. Mike Calta Show, good morning.
Yeah, hi. I was calling about the hitchhikers.
Yeah, what do you got? How many have you killed?
Well, I drive a truck for a living, and I picked up a couple, man and husband, or husband and wife, down in Lake Okeechobee about a year ago. And I asked them where they were going, and they said Anchorage, Alaska.
Well, they were just trying to get there. They didn't even have a car. They're just trying to hitch their way there.
Well, they had came over to Miami from France, and this is what they do for an adventure. So I said, I can take you as far as Dade City.
From Miami, that's pretty good. That's 5 hours.
Yeah.
And how was talking to them? Was it weird, or was it kind of interesting to talk to them?
Well, the wife spoke zero English. The husband, he did okay, so we communicated pretty well. But then by the time we got to Dade City, we had exchanged phone numbers, and I kept in touch with them. They had gone all the way to Anchorage and then all the way down to the tip of South America.
Wow.
And flew home, and we've still been in contact. And now, in 6 months, my wife and I are flying over to France, and we're actually staying with them for a week.
That's pretty awesome.
But aren't you whenever you see a husband and wife and you're like, "Oh, I'll give them a ride," aren't you afraid of them overtaking you? Like that's their plan is to get in, and the wife maybe shows you a little something, and then the husband just goes stab, stab, stab.
No, I'm a pretty big guy, and if it happens, whatever.
All right. Now, hey, you ever see anything in the truck, like looking down into the cars? Anything interesting there?
I have actually, but it's mostly dudes.
Oh, that's not cool. Yeah. Oh, thanks, brother. I appreciate it. Enjoy France. Have a great time.
All right, man. Thanks.
All right, thank you. That's interesting to me.
That's wild.
Mike Calta Show, good morning.
Hey, good morning. Hey, just a heads up, the Super Bowl is in Santa Clara. It's not in San Francisco, so it's a bit nicer than San Francisco.
Same thing. You got to go. I mean, all the festivities will be in San Francisco, but thank you for the heads up, sir. Mike Calta Show, hello.
Morning, Mike. I know earlier you were talking about trusts and all that jazz. My mother died back in like mid-23, and she had it all solidified and set up, and it's the only way to go. I mean, there was a lot of assets, house, bank accounts, all that stuff. And I tell you, I did it for my kids. I got 4 of them, and they're really young, but I would have never really thought about it unless my mother did it. Made my brother the executor, and it was very, very easy. You don't have to get lawyers.
I'll tell you, sir, if I could really impress that upon people, I think that's doing them more of a favor than they'll ever understand, and having to go through it because, because I had power of attorney, I was able to go in and close my mother's bank accounts and handle all her bills and situations there. And if I didn't, that stuff would still be in probate, and we'd still be fighting over in court. Would have cost me more money. Would have been at the point where I probably just gave up and said, just forget it, just keep everything. So yeah, it's so important that you do that for your family and your kids. Even if you're younger, it's probably easier to do when you're younger and you have less assets. But I mean, it's
a lot faster.
Sure,
it's a lot faster because we did have an attorneys. A lot of people don't set it up. It does cost money. It costs a few $1,000s to set it up, depending on how many kids you have and who you go, what attorney you have represent you. But basically, they're kind of like the umbrella of the whole trust. And then basically, like my brother when he was the executor, because he was the oldest, he was able to not only divvy out, but I'll give you an example. There was, a few $100,000 in my mother's savings and checking account. And as soon as they found out she died, they seized the account. Like they stopped. The IRS actually closed the account. And if it wasn't for my brother's, expertise in somewhat of it, because she started having Alzheimer's a couple of years earlier, so he was basically taking care of her finances anyway. It basically sped things up, and he basically did everything what he had to do as far as telling the IRS and telling the bank that she died and she's no longer, and the heir is this, and this, and it still took months going through it because of they just they don't want to let go of that money.
No.
And if you have attorneys, you have to pay.
If they have an opportunity to take it from you, they will take it from you in a second. And not to mention the fact that you, in top of dealing with all this, you're grieving over losing somebody. So it's the worst possible time to have to go through any more drama than you need to do. So thank you for calling in, and it's a little reminder to everybody that if you have the opportunity, it depends on what lawyer you go to. There are a lot of lawyers that'll do it. It's going to cost you, like you said, a couple of $1,000s. But I'm talking like maybe $2,500, $3,000, depending on who's doing it. And it's in order to get all of your finances in order. No matter how old you are, in case something ever happened, in case you died, especially if you died young. If you're in your 40s and you've got young kids, and you just assume all the stuff's going to go to your wife or go to your kids or go to your husband or go to your kids, that's not always the case. And until you establish a trust for those kids, which is the best thing to do to protect yourself, your stuff is just in limbo. And you could be putting your family in a world of hurt, having to fight it in probate court for years. So it was something we talked about earlier on the show, and that guy just brought it back up, but it's worth repeating. I got to take a break. Carmen, we do have a lot of things to give away. Maybe when we come back, we'll have an opportunity to play a game and do that stuff. If you'd like to get through, 800-771-1025, and another opportunity for you to win $1,000 with the Bone bonus before we get out of here today. It's the Mike Calta Show. It's 1025 The Bone. Anybody have any big plans?
No.
Somebody laughing?
Yeah. I feel like I should, but I don't. And that's giving me stress and anxiety.
Like you're not taking your wife out for dinner or brunch or breakfast or anything?
Me?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I forgot. You hate your wife.
I would take my mother out for something.
I'm taking my wife out for dinner on Mother's Day.
What's your son going to do?
He's coming.
Yeah, I mean, now that he's the age, he should be planning things, I feel like.
He is coming. Well, I mean, she's still the mother of my children.
Right.
So I'm taking care of that. I'm giving her,
But, I mean,
we're taking her out to dinner.
At some point, the kids get to an age where they need to step up and, plan some stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sure I'm doing the planning, but I'm sure they'll buy her a Mother's Day gift, or at least Joey will.
Something.
Juliana still doesn't have her own money.
She's still kind of young, but like my son, I'm telling, hey, man, you better be planning something.
Joey's got his mother and his girlfriend's mother to take care of.
Oh, really?
Sure.
Interesting.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you got to do. You got to take care of all the mothers.
Yeah.
I have my wife, my mother-in-law, my stepmother. I got an influx of mothers. This could be a very expensive holiday for me.
I got a lot of moms at the house, Michael.
You do? You got a Mama Pants?
Yeah.
You got a Mama Net?
I got a Mama Deets, Mama Pants.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Christy's a mom.
Well, that's right. You got three moms just in Mom Island alone.
I'm mom heavy. Yeah.
you are mom heavy.
What are you going to do?
Offer them rides in your car.
Yeah, all right.
A lot of sunsets.
Mama Palooza.
Load it up.
A lot
Let's
of
go.
sunsets. Everybody packing the BMW. We're going to watch the sun go down.
Yeah.
Happy Mother's Day, everybody. What are you doing, Joe? You having a big mother-a-thon?
No, I think Christy's gonna make linguine and clam sauce.
I do like that.
So
red or white?
White.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So she likes to make that every now and then, and I think we're probably gonna do that on Sunday.
Does she like me or does she not like me?
No, she likes you a lot.
Okay, because she's always so quiet. I never know.
That's how she.
I
is.
know. I just
keeps her in line.
Check.
Well, I mean,
don't get me wrong. I didn't expect you to anyway go. Yeah, she's not a fan. She doesn't like you.
Yeah, I can't get a good read.
No.
You either?
No.
Yeah.
No.
You either?
No.
Oh, good. Maybe she hates all of us.
I mean, sometimes I feel like she does like me, and then other times I don't.
She does actually like you a lot.
And at one point, when she said, when I first met you, I really hated your guts.
No,
Really?
No, that's not what she said.
What did she say?
It was
What she
similar to that.
said is when I first met you, I thought I was going to hate you because you're mean to me on air.
Oh, because you're mean to Joe.
Right.
But I don't think I'm mean to Joe.
Then when she realized you're just saying the things she thinks too.
Well, I wouldn't go that far.
Yeah.
But no. She was. She said she actually did really enjoy spending time with you.
Oh, all right.
And your
my wife
on the
has
group.
not ever expressed any hatred toward any of you.
That's good.
Yeah, I would so be happy to tell you because it would mortify her. But she's never said anything bad about any of you. She likes all of you.
Outside of the time you big time my family at the Publix, they really have nothing but kind words to say.
Well, and Amanda did yell at you over the raccoon.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, but that was just it was in the moment.
Yeah.
She doesn't still harbor those feelings.
No, and I understood. That was my fault.
No. Well, it was just bad timing.
Yeah.
Probably thinks less of you a little bit though.
Probably. What's the deal with the raccoon? She's still out there trying to chorus it or what?
We haven't seen the raccoon, although every once in a while we see garbage.
Oh, I see
Did not
garbage all
see
the time, Michael.
Oh, you do?
Oh, yeah.
Well,
I
thank
had-
you.
I
Because
could-
of you, I don't see the garbage all the time.
There's a
But you
trail
don't-
I had to pick some up this morning.
every
Oh,
morning.
really?
Yeah.
You don't catch it on the Ring camera?
No, I mean it's got to come up pretty close to the door in order to get it.
Oh,
Or
okay.
I mean, there's also the other day it went off and there was a squirrel just sitting there eating whatever grapes Amanda left out or whatever she left out. And the squirrel was like, well, I guess these are for me. And there's a rabbit in the backyard. I forgot the rabbit's name already.
Was it Henry?
No,
something
like Arnold or something. I forgot the raccoon's name too.
Elliot.
Elliot is the raccoon.
Tim.
No, not Tim. Tim the rabbit. I don't know why it's nothing. It's similar to Tim.
Roger.
Maybe I don't know.
Alan,
Alan, is that it?
something like that.
The rabbit looked like a Roger.
Well, all rabbits look around. Yeah.
That rabbit isn't afraid of nothing. Isn't afraid of the dogs. Isn't afraid of the deer. Isn't afraid of the alligator.
Yeah, you'd think the gator would love that rabbit.
I bet you that rabbit's delicious.
By the way, every cow is a Betsy.
Yeah. I would like to have more. I'm not going to, but I would like to have more, like a couple of animals.
Have you seen Danielle's place?
No.
Oh,
What does she
yeah.
have?
She's got donkeys.
She's got donkeys now.
She's got all kinds rabbits.
What does she do with donkeys?
She's got a big area, big pen out there, and
They just walk around
Like a zoo, yeah.
She feeds them and stuff. It's funny because she goes to get the hay and stuff, and they come over to the door, and she goes, "I have to give them a little bit to get by, to get out there, because otherwise they totally are like, they want to eat the stuff." So she just gives them a little bit each, and then she runs over and puts it over.
Where does one get a donkey?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know whether it was somebody that had to get rid of them or what, but I remember the Humane Society had donkeys for a little while.
Really?
Yeah.
I just assume Facebook Marketplace.
What do you do when you got a donkey and you can't take care of it anymore, and you just call up the SPCA and be like, hey.
Well, think about it. If somebody had their mom and their mom passed away and their mom had a couple of donkeys and they're like, we live in an apartment.
I know, like my kids are going to have to do, we have a tortoise.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. I was talking to my wife, if we ever sell this house, we have to figure out what we're going to do with Ralphie. I mean, we're going to keep him. Hopefully we'll have a place that's also has an outdoor area. I mean, I could technically keep Ralphie on a patio, like a screen-in patio.
Yeah, he'd hate that though.
Why?
It's just
He doesn't get the roam.
It's not the real grass, and
it's just a big cage at that point.
And once you he's used to your yard and the space that he has.
Yeah.
Like if you put him in something smaller,
Right.
he would be miserable.
Gonna feel like you're punishing him.
Well, I'm not.
Right.
I'm not going to do that. I'm just. I can't see us getting an apartment anywhere.
real quick, I don't mean to hijack the. Look at Natasha Lyonne. Look how good she looks.
So it's great. Wasn't she dying?
I don't know.
That can't be real hair.
Yeah, that's her hair.
Oh my God, she does look great.
And she's got the Wu-Tang hat on, but look at her outfit too. She's like leather and boots and stuff. She looks fantastic.
Yeah, she
she's
looked
gotta
so
be
sickly for a while.
Oh yeah,
yeah. She had some sort of disease.
Are you thinking of Selma Blair?
No. Look it up. Natasha Lyonne had some sort of disease, and she was dying. And then they thought she was not going to make it, and then she clearly.
Oh yeah, her lung collapsed.
Oh,
she
is
had
that what it was?
hepatitis C, infected with something, whatever, struggle with heroin addiction. She underwent open heart surgery in 2012.
She's funny.
Well, that's why if she had the heroin addiction, that's probably why she looks so bad. She looks great now.
By the way, 46 years old.
Oh, that's pretty solid.
Yeah,
that's pretty solid. I would not have said that about her before.
Right?
Good for her. Good actress.
Yeah.
She's been entertaining, and she's got a certain type that she plays, but
Yeah.
she's
She's
just
good.
entertaining.
She's good.
All right, Carmen, we have some stuff to give away, don't we?
We do. We have a bunch of stuff.
All right.
So we have tickets for Say Santa,
Uh-huh.
Billy Idol and Joan Jett,
This weekend?
Stained,
Yep.
Welcome to Rockville,
The whole weekend?
Mike Campbell,
Yep.
and Russell Dickerson.
Say it.
WrestleMania.
There you go.
Pew, 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 pew.
All right, let's do it right now with a little Google feud. Here we go.
What will the all-knowing Google box say? Well, if you can guess one of the top 3 answers, you'll win. It's time to play Google Feud, only on the Mike Calta Show.
All right, Galvin, we've got a full board of phone calls. There's actually one line open, 800-771-1025. I'm going to pick a contestant up, and we'll see if we can get ourselves a winner. Good morning. Who is this?
Hey, it is Michael.
Michael, are you ready to play a little Google feud?
Well, let's try it. I'm trying to go to Rockville.
Here we go.
All right, I'm going to read a phrase that's not finished that we put into Google. You're going to tell me how you think Google finishes it. You get in the top 3, and you're going to win a prize. Here we go. The first one is, when was the last... You want to start with the room, or we want to start with him? We
Start
with
the room.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike. When was the last...
Halley's Comet.
Halley's Comet. Gio, when was the last...
When was the last president elected?
Carmen, when was the last...
Supper.
Supper. All right. Pap, when was the last...
When was the last lunar eclipse?
Last lunar eclipse. All right. You want to go with one of those answers, or you want to pick one of your own?
I'm going to go full moon.
When was the last full moon?
All right, so we got when was the last Halley's Comet, last president elected, the last supper, and the last lunar eclipse, which is not the same as the full moon.
No, different.
But it's just last moon, right? Like we just go based off of what he wanted.
Yeah, he said want a full moon.
Got to get in the top 3. Here we go. Number 3. When was the last ice age?
Mm-hmm.
Not it. When was the last government shutdown?
No. Oh, here
Not
we go.
it.
So here we go. It's got to be this one, or you're a big loser.
Number 1, Google Feud. When was the last amendment to the Constitution?
Oh, I'm sorry you did not win, sir. I'm sorry. We will have more Rockville tickets to give away as the week goes on. Maybe this next person could win them. Good morning. Who is this?
This is Patrick.
Patrick, you ready to play a little Google Feud?
I am ready.
You versus the Google box. Here we go.
All right, Patrick. We're going to try and figure out how Google's going to finish this. What if my son, Mike, finish that. What if my son
Is gay.
Gio, what if my son
Poops his pants.
Carmen, what if my son
is trans going to be the same
No,
line as
that's
gay?
different. That's different.
Okay.
All right,
making sure
Joe.
is trans.
Joe, what if my son
What if my son fails?
All right. You heard those. Do you want to stick with one of those, or you want to pick your own?
I'll stick with the gay.
What if my son is gay?
That's it. Stick with the gay, sir.
All
That's the
right.
way to go.
Got to get in the top 3 to be a winner here.
Come on, be gay.
Number 3. What if my son claimed himself on taxes?
Oh, criminal.
Number 2. What if my son is gay?
Gay son, gay son, gay son.
Number 1 for Google Feud. What if my son has autism?
Oh, well, yeah, he could be autistic and gay.
Yeah, could be.
Congratulations, Patrick. Very good job. I'm going to put you on hold.
Thank
Carmen will
you.
grab you when we go to break, and we'll hook you up with a prize.
I appreciate it.
All right. Do we have one more, Galvin?
Sure.
Can we do one more?
We can do
We're on a roll
yeah,
now.
Yeah, all right.
Good morning. Who is this?
Hey, my name's Steve.
All right, Steve. You ready to play last round of Google Feud?
Let's do it.
Here we go, Galvin.
All right, Steve, we're looking to finish this. When does the Pope... Mike, how are we going to finish that? When does the Pope...
When does the Pope... Oh, I have to... when does the Pope get elected?
Get elected. All right. Gio, when does the Pope...
When does the Pope visit the United States?
Visit United States. Carmen, when does the Pope...
When does the Pope hold service?
Hold service. All right. Joe,
Good.
when does the Pope...
When does the Pope sleep?
All right. You heard the answers. You want to go with one of those, or you want to pick one of your own?
I think I'm going to go with one of those. I think I heard something about get elected.
Get elected.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Gonna go with get elected. Got to get in the top 3 with that.
We're in the middle of we're right in the beginning of the conclave.
Number 3. When does the Pope give mass?
Oh, that was Carmen's.
Similar. Yeah, Carmen would have had that one. Number 2. When does the Pope come out?
As
just like the groundhog, whatever comes out. Number 1 for Google Feud. When does the Pope get elected?
Hey! I'm on
that's
fire
another-
today.
Yeah.
Oh, good. I'm going to put you on hold, sir. You were also a winner.
Oh, awesome.
Good job, my man. Put him on hold right there. Carmen will grab you during the break, and we'll hook you guys up with prizes.
Very nice.
The conclave has begun to elect a new pope. Isn't today the day they all go in?
I don't know.
The top three in the lead are all black popes. We are going to have ourselves a black pope.
That means I'm going to win.
You depends.
No, you picked
It
a
has to be
certain
the
Pope.
one.
Settle down, guys.
Joe,
There's
you
Peter. There's Pietro. There's a couple other ones.
Pietro's not black.
Well, sorry.
Peter is black.
Pietro's
Peter's Turkson.
Italian.
So Joe and Gio are the same. They both picked Peter Turkson. That's one of the black popes. Carmen and I both picked Pietro, the Italian one, and Mike, you picked the Asian one.
Wang.
Luis Antonio Tagle.
Antonio Tarver.
Yep. Antonio Tarver's next pope. If you the only way you can become pope, beat him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
My Pope Antonio Tarver.
Oh, trial by combat, like
Yeah.
Game of Thrones.
Oh,
I choose
yeah.
combat.
You really love Jesus. Fight for him.
Yeah, that'd be badass.
Yeah. The Pope could come 2/3 majority needed to elect the Pope. It could happen in their first meeting. It could happen in their third meeting. Either way, we're looking for the white smoke. When you see the white smoke, you got a new Pope. When you see the
'Cause
black
what is-
smoke, no
Okay.
Pope. Black smoke, no Pope.
Gotcha.
White smoke, Pope. Hopefully, we'll be seeing some smoke by the end of the day today.
Yeah, so today is the first day of the conclave.
Yeah, most likely not going to produce a new Pope today. But they all say that there's some popes that are in the lead, so there's a chance. Round 1 of voting is today.
And the
Is-
fact that there's so many means it's probably going to take a few days.
It says just one round of voting will be held today, but for the next 4 days, as many as 4 rounds can be held, 2 in the morning and 2 in the afternoon. If we get to the end of the 4th day and there's still no winner, on the 5th day, there will be no voting to allow instead for prayer, quiet reflection, and informal discussion. After a pause, voting will resume no more than a day later and continue for another 7 rounds before the next break.
Today at 1:00 is when we should see the first smoke.
Okay.
See, I mean, we
I'll
could
be
have
watching.
a
I'll
new
be
have a
looking.
new Pope today.
Mm.
We could have. This would be an exciting time to be in Italy right now. I would think like this. Alex Hogan from Fox News. This is a pretty cushy assignment for her. I bet you she's hoping it takes 7 days for this Pope. She gets to just chill out in Rome for a week.
yeah.
I mean, it's great. Just hang out over there by the Vatican and look at the smoke.
Can they pray to the dead Pope and get his opinion, or is
You don't
that-
pray to a Pope. You only pray to God.
Oh, okay.
You only pray to God. Sometimes you need help from the saints, but you pray only to God. I am the Lord your God. You shall have no other gods beside me. Rule number 1.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm learning these things as I go.
Listen, I'm here for you. I learned a lot about other religions in Catholic school.
I'm also surprised they don't have a vice pope just ready to go.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but that's not how it goes.
Who's
Like
running
only
things, though?
one person is infallible. Only one person speaks. God speaks through them. So you
Right.
can't just say, "Hey, we got a backup," because it's only one person. You know, and the
But
new
you should have a
Pope.
buddy if you're going to be.
Well, I mean, there's plenty of cardinals.
Like BJ had the bear. The Pope should get a. You know,
Should have a little
monkey?
sidekick.
Yeah,
a sidekick.
BJ
A
should.
sidekick.
I feel like the Lord should have given us vice pope at some point, just as time progressed.
But do you
Popette.
want a vice pope, or do you want an election to vote for the new pope?
I mean, I guess.
You know,
But like, who's been poping things since the other pope died?
we've been popeless.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to figure out. Who's getting the answers from him?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's what they say. Like he speaks.
Talks
like
to God.
God speaks through him.
Right. So right now, God's got nobody to talk to.
There's
Yeah.
no
Yeah. So
Pope.
God's been quiet for a couple of days.
Hmm.
Right now, like if the crap was to hit the fan right now, nobody's able to talk to God.
Or is he talking to one of them and
Yeah.
that's who's the real Pope?
Hello, Peter. It's me. You're going to be next. You're going to be next.
How about this? My wife just sent me this because she likes this actor. You know, Michael Pitt, who was in Boardwalk Empire. He was in a bunch of different
Yes.
stuff. Michael
Yes.
Pitt, the actor. This
He
headline.
played Kurt Cobain.
Yeah, from New York Post. Boardwalk Empire star Michael Pitt sexually assaulted, strangled ex-girlfriend, and attacked her with a cinder block.
Oh,
That's according to the Brooklyn DA.
interesting weapon.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ooh, how about that?
Well,
We'll see what happens.
all right, we got to take a break. Our phone numbers, if you want to get through, 800-771-1025. And don't forget, we're 25 minutes away from giving away $1,000 with the Bone Bonus keyword. We will do that before we get out of here this morning, right at 10 o'clock. $1,000 with the Bone Bonus keyword, all coming up. It's the Mike Calta Show. This is 1025 The Bone. Anyway, if you want to get through, 800-771-1025. Okay, now is an appropriate time for you, Medicine Man. How are you?
I feel very fine today. I went to the movies last night.
You did.
see,
You're the
he was
one.
there.
Thunderbolts again.
What'd you see? Thunderbolts again?
Yeah, because the first time I watched it, it was like a late show, and I was dozing off. And I've seen the whole thing now. It seems a lot better. You know, seeing it, I didn't miss anything.
Happens to me a lot. I fall asleep a lot in movies. I'm really fighting hard to get some rest so I can go see the new Mission Impossible when it comes out.
Oh, I can't wait for that one either. That's
Yeah.
gonna be a good one.
Yeah, a couple more days.
Yeah, because I hope it isn't filled up like with Scientology in that theater when I went to see Nosferatu and Christmas night at AMC Woodlands.
And there were too many Scientologists there?
Yeah, there were like 5 busloads of people there that night when I went to see Nosferatu back in Christmas.
Yeah, and what did they do
That
to
was
you?
at night.
They were bugging you?
Nothing. I didn't get. No, they weren't bugging me. I was sitting right in between them.
Yeah, then leave them alone. Do you think that they were more annoyed by you or you were more annoyed by them?
No, I didn't realize until I saw the buses after when I got out of the place. You know.
Who'd you go to the movies
I was
with last
around them.
night?
I went by myself.
No. That
I
makes
also
me, that makes me
caught,
sad. That makes me
accountant
sad that
too.
you might be lonely sometimes. Do you get lonely?
No, I don't. People come up to me and I say, "Hey, medicine man, what's up?" You know, or how you doing, stuff like that. You know.
Yeah, I got
But
you.
nobody ever says, "Hey,
know,
medicine
man,
man, do you want to hang out Thursday night? Let's
Right.
go do something." Nobody ever says
I mean,
that.
Galvin
This
asks
is
him all the
like-
time. He never
I
wants to
mean,
hang out with Galvin.
I get people taking selfies at the theater too. You know.
Oh, yeah, you're
Yeah,
very
pretty cool.
popular.
You're very famous.
Nobody invites you anywhere.
You know what? I usually go with friends and stuff like that, and by the way, you know, every time I go to a concert, it feels like I'm at a Hollywood movie. The way people come up to me.
Yes, you're very
Yeah.
famous.
Yeah, it's like you're like a superstar.
Yeah, I got over 1,500 members, and I get people far away on my Facebook as far as Israel.
Oh my, yeah. I hear you're number one with Jews.
Yeah.
All right, I gotta go. I'll see you later. Oh, good morning. Hello. I'm sorry, we gotta go. Goodbye. That's it.
See you later.